Player accurately stream this. Yep, that looks good. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and what's going on, everybody? So we are going to be doing another Hidden Colors stream tonight. The roster is Patty Politics, Tyler Preston, Prince of Do, Skepo, and myself. This is going to be absolutely fucking ridiculous, as it always is, because it's Tariq Nasheed. The only problem we have is we can't remember where we left off. So we gotta like kind of click through Virginia Native American. I think it was around like the Native Americans or some shit is when
I can see like on the previous video I can see that there's a, maybe I can share it. Hold on. Can you see it?
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it myself too. I just gotta like click through and find it, you know, because I don't remember where the fuck we left off. But I mean, we got a late start today. I didn't want to let everybody out there in Streamland wait too terribly long. So, oh, you know what I can do? Shit, I can actually click through it a lot faster if I do it over here instead of actually in Rabbit. Fucking hell. Let's mute that. But yeah, what have you guys been up to?
Just a lot of Twitter drama, that's it for me.
Me too, man.
People
Nothing but drama.
Trying to,
And so bad.
I'm trying to remember if we got to the Council of Nicaea. Like, I'm fucking trying to look through this, and it's just such a... Oh my god, it's such a fucking mess. It's ridiculous. Holy shit. Wild Tanuki, subscribe and follow Prince of Do. I agree. Everybody should go subscribe and follow.
Fuck everyone. No. Go away. Subscribe to actual fucking...
Hey, don't talk to the audience like that.
No, don't.
Yes.
Don't.
Do it.
That's
Okay.
terrible behavior.
19th century photo, some of the last full-blooded Aztecs. We got to that. We're looking at some Olmec stuff. Okay. That's about that. I'm just familiarizing myself around with it. Okay. I think I got this figured out. Just give me one quick second. I'm a pro at this shit. I'm a pro at clicking.
I'm trying to open this on my computer and just ditch my phone. Please work. Work.
Oh, you still trying to get your phone to work properly?
No, the problem is, I wish I could show you, but basically I pressed on the settings thing here on Rabbit, and the window is there. I can't see the save button, so I can't click to make it disappear. So right now I'm staring at a white window with settings, and I can't see you guys. So
Museum of Costa Rica. Jesus fucking Christ.
Everything works terribly today. No, okay, it works. It fucking works. Just let me get out of here. And
So, we are still on Hidden Colors 2, The Triumph of Melanin, right?
Yes.
Okay. I thought so.
No.
Oh my god. I'm clicking through it and it's already just like giving me fucking cancer. This is so bad.
Just a sec. Fuck. I need that. Ah! I forgot to connect the fucking speakers.
Oh my god. Oh, whoa!
Fuck!
I think I almost got it. Okay. I think we were about 50, we were like 57. Oh my god, Prince, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't want to know either.
Yeah. We're right around here. There's What's she doing?
Okay.
We're having technical difficulties right now.
We're having Prince difficulties. But look, I found it. Check it out.
Oh, you did?
Uh-huh. That is the most African Native American I've ever seen in my life. Holy dick.
I think we need to call the ambulance.
Sorry, I hit that so hard. I meant. Apologies.
Skepo needs some coffee feed. Jesus Christ.
He's You know, those Ricola
That's too much shit is going on right now.
I want to get a big old horn like that. Go Ricola.
Okay.
Okay. That's bad. This is bad. This is really bad.
What's really bad? What are you doing?
I can't fucking hear you. Sorry. My speakers don't work.
Wow.
We don't tell
Very nice, Prince.
Don't tell her how many people are watching.
I can't hear you people, I'm sorry.
Nobody tell Prince how many people are watching.
Oh, none.
Let's go back.
Yeah, nobody's watching us right now, Prince. Don't worry about it.
No, please. No, this is an embarrassment. Everything is an embarrassment. Kick me out of this team. I'm the worst.
Oh, so by the way, I thought I should I'll let everybody know though. So these streams that we do, when we do hidden colors like this, these don't stay up. They will be. Oh my God!
Echo.
These streams go unlisted as soon as they're over. So if you want to watch this again, you got to save the URL because otherwise it gets chopped up into supercuts. Kingslayer Damocles, $5. Patty was dragging bitches today. Yes, Patty fucking was.
Oh, I dragged someone today, but they blocked me at the second tweet, so it didn't really work.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Patty's always slaying. All right, you guys ready for this? Are you guys ready for some? Are you ready to activate your melanin?
Hell yeah.
Okay. I stocked up on extra melanin before the stream, so I'm ready.
Melanin plus
yellow
melanin.
skin. They became round-eyed and brown skin and red skin.
All over the country of Costa Rica, you have these little African-like statues just all over the place. And when you go to the museum, you see these African artifacts, African-style gold. A lot of monuments and artifacts that resemble monuments and artifacts from West Africa.
This looks like about the right area, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Way, the other part goes the other way. In the Y of that split, you have a place that Native Americans call Cahokia.
Cahokia.
Called KANGZ, Illinois.
What the shit did he say?
Cahokia.
It's called Monk's Mound.
That is Monk's Mound is not a goddamn pyramid. What the fuck? Jesus Christ.
This is really stressing here. Like, how could they get a fucking pyramid from that?
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, Monk's Mound is an amazing feat of engineering, but yeah, it's not a fucking pyramid. Come on.
Oh, they see a giant hill and like brown people did it, and they're like, "Yeah, that's a pyramid."
That's a pyramid.
Yep, and it's a big conspiracy too, because it's not like making pyramids is the easiest way to primitively make something that goes up. Nah.
If you look at pictures from the 1900s and beyond, most of the Native American people were very dark-skinned. Sometimes they were very jet black. But most Native American people before 1900, if you look at photos of them, they're extremely dark-skinned people, especially on the West Coast, like in California. The California Indians were very dark-skinned. The Indians that were around the Minnesota, Milwaukee area that we know as Milwaukee and Minnesota now, they were very dark-skinned people. The Native Americans on the East Coast were very dark-skinned people.
They weren't African though.
And like, were there Native Americans that weren't dark-skinned? Like, what's the fucking point? Shit.
In the late 1800s, there was something called the Dawes Rolls, which was basically a census that made records of people's ethnic backgrounds in order to determine
Dawes Rolls.
which
Are you
Native
sure that's not a name of
American tribes would
marijuana?
get certain land allotments and other benefits. After slavery, many black people were associated with some of these tribes by bloodline, through marriage, through adoption, and even servitude. And because they were associated with these tribes, many black people were entitled to some of these benefits.
Okay.
The government did not want blacks to get these benefits, so they created a separate freedmen's list specifically for black people. They also started to...
Is that true? I don't know if that's true. I've never heard of that. That's interesting.
List any full-blooded Native American who had African features as black because they didn't want them getting those benefits either. At the same time, they allowed black citizens to come in and pay money under the table to be listed as part Native American.
1895, 1896, when
you could pay. You get paid under the. Oh my god! I gotta turn my mic way down. I'm way too loud. You could pay under the table to be listed as a Native American if you were white. Why? Why? Why?
What would you want that? What's the difference? Yeah, no. I don't know.
Sure.
The whites found out the benefits that these blacks are going to be entitled to. A lot of whites went to the Dawes Commission and say, look, why don't you put my name on there? They said, but you're not an Indian. So that's what they said, well, I'll give you $5. So then the rule got around, the policy got around that for $5 that a white could put his name on the Dawes rolls and be called himself an Indian and be entitled to all these benefits, and all their children could be entitled to all these benefits forever. And so that became known as what's...
Yeah, because the benefits the Native Americans got were so fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah, I can only imagine. That you would feel to be
right
Native
now.
American at that time.
So did white people become Native Americans and they weeded out the black people? So like we American KANGZ? Is that I'm really confused.
I feel like I know where they're going with this because they tend to, like, I've seen people, when white people say I have Native American ancestry, they tend to say, oh, you're like 1/10 Native American or something, and
right.
And I kind of feel like they're about to go into the whole explanation about why white people think that they're related to Native Americans, even though a lot of white people really are.
Okay.
Dude,
yeah.
my grandma was full. Like, and I'm as white as white can get, but
Weird.
No, I can see it. I mean, I'm not talking about the United States here, but my boyfriend, for example, is half native. I would say native Argentinian because I don't know how to. He's Aboriginal. Half of him.
Somehow this feels wrong.
Oh man, that's some funny shit. Which half?
Called a $5 Indian.
Oh my God.
And so you go around
That's
now
really
and
important.
most of
Is
the
it the half that matters?
He's Native American where it counts.
Oh my God! Wait! Is there some kind of stereotype regarding like
Natives and penises?
Like,
I don't think so.
No.
Only for blacks.
blacks? For example, like black, there isn't one because it would be really funny.
I don't think
This joke will
there
be-
is one. Mm-mm.
This joke would be 10 times funnier if you heard.
Well, but the thing is, they did in Hidden Colors 1, they did make the claim that all Native Americans are black. So, right? So,
Yes.
because he's part Native American, that effectively means he's part black, and you know what that means. I mean,
Oh,
You know
that
what?
makes sense.
see? And like
Gosh.
after we got through the first Hidden Colors and I came to terms with my blackness, my penis just fucking exploded in size. It was amazing.
like a telescope. We just.
Are we
It's huge.
supposed to be looking for Native American big penises now, or is it
I mean, we could.
just how to narrow it down?
Right.
Man.
So some of the chat are saying like we got to turn up the movie. Can't, just by the way that Rabbit works. What I can do is I will just I'll just turn everybody just slightly down, and then you guys who are watching can turn it up. And that'll work.
Yep.
That's what you're gonna have to do. Sorry about that, guys. Blame Rabbit. We're working with what we can here.
about 90% of them are not even Indians. Those are just whites now who are passing as Indians. They're getting all the benefits. And they're not paying any taxes and free college education.
Oh my God!
I called it. I called it.
We need it. What's okay, guys? What's this guy's Indian name?
Hopping sunburn.
Oh, we're off to a great start already. Holy shit. All right. Oh.
A little reservation on the land that they don't live on. They have another home off and get all kind of benefits.
Oh my God, what is that?
Iron Eyes Cody was another famous Native American person. He was in the media for years. In the 1970s, they utilized him for this pollution commercial.
Oh, yeah.
How dare him?
He was a very well-known Native American in American culture, but the reality is, Iron Eyes Cody wasn't Native American at all. He was Sicilian. Both of his parents were
You don't
Sicily.
say.
So he didn't have one drop of Native.
Yeah, but everybody knows that. Everybody fucking knows that. Hang on.
Like, who fucking cares? Like, if he's actually not Native American, he's trying to sell a product here.
Right.
Sure. And he
Cultural
fooled me.
appropriation in my advertisement.
Okay, go on.
Actually, Jeff has the remote right now.
Oh my God, he froze.
It's okay.
Jeffrey, you froze.
All right.
Everyone.
All right.
Oh, there he is.
Much better. I had to get in touch with my blackness real quick. Hang on. Yes. Let's get caught up with super chat real quick, just because this is a good moment to do it. People are being super kind. Kingslayer Damocles, Patty was dragging video today. Yeah, Luca Blight 69. Prince Dew is forever adorable. Also, I heart Jeff. I heart you, Luca. Switch point. Are you guys gonna do a video on the stupid Wonder Woman ban in Lebanon because of the Israeli thing? I haven't heard about that. Have you guys heard about that?
Nope.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Also, your rock positive vibes from a Lebanese dude. I love Lebanese food, and I love you. Coila Dante, they wanted that sweet, sweet reservation housing. And Skylar Knight, my penis is black, but for a whole other reason, use protection kiddos. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Thanks for generosity, guys.
American blood enemy. He was another fake Indian.
Dad?
First authorized paintings from the Americas was of these 3 African men who were the leaders of a maroon colony down in Central America. And these men, the legend is that they were enslaved Africans who escaped and they were shipwrecked and they formed a maroon colony down in Central America and they became leaders of the Native American tribes down in Central America. And this painting of these 3 African men, it's at a museum in Madrid, Spain today.
Really?
What?
Wait.
I think the key word here is legend.
Yeah, there was a legend of. Was he say that there was 3 African men who became like tribal leaders of Native American tribes? Yeah. Really?
Became leaders.
But he said legend, so I'm not sure of its validity.
Yeah.
Well, museum, and it is on some sort of fabric or paper or something, so it.
Right. I wonder if he's gonna show it. Let's see. Nope. Then he showed. He shows the museum, but he doesn't show the actual painting.
Well, don't you know the painting itself? That picture, the 3 black guys. That's all the proof you need. That's all the proof. Somebody painted that.
I mean, you don't even need to see the thing. You just need to hear about it. That's it.
You just need Tariq and friends to tell you about it. If Tariq tells you to wash your ass, you go and wash your ass.
Damn right.
So this is exactly the. We should play Wash Your Ass.
Yeah.
At some point.
Makes sense.
That's one of my favorite songs ever. It's so good. Some people don't know that. Before Tariq Nasheed was like, because we mentioned it in Hidden Colors 1, but before Tariq Nasheed was was all KANGZ and shit. He wrote books on how to pick up women, and he wrote rap music, and he has that song "Wash Your Ass." That's pretty amazing.
Wash your ass.
Wash your ass.
Yeah.
Boukman, Haitian Revolution, the original revolutionary, because he was turned in the night of the revolution. That's when Toussaint Louverture took over. The book Irritated Genius.
What's
you
his
need to read. Name was Boukman. Boukman was called Boukman from Jamaica because he couldn't be handled in Jamaica. He was sold to Haiti. He started a rebellion amongst the African people. And they knew him as Boukman because they always read. He was very intelligent. He always taught the people who they were and what they were. The night before the revolution, Boukman looked to his brothers and sisters in the field. And he said, you want to win? Cast aside your white God. Embrace your African spirit.
Oh.
You are free. He didn't say you will be free. He didn't say you can be free.
I gotta point this out again because there's got to be some people watching this live with us who didn't watch the last one. We still don't know why he has a doily embroidered on the side of his arm. I don't think we ever figured that out.
Nope.
Nope. He's part of the doily brigade.
Say you could be free. He said, cast aside your white God. You are free.
Had it not been for the Haitian Revolution, America would be 50% of its current size, if not more. The Louisiana Purchase doubled America's size, and it would have never been a Louisiana Purchase.
How is this related to the Louisiana Purchase?
I don't know. I wonder if he's gonna say that is because of blacks that the Louisiana Purchase happened. Oh please, please, because everything came from blacks.
Blacks.
Embrace your African spirit. You are free. He didn't say you will be free. He didn't say you can be free. He didn't say you could be free. He said, cast aside your white God. You are free.
Oh.
Had it not been for the Haitian Revolution, America would be 50% of its current size, if not more. The Louisiana Purchase.
No.
America's size,
Stop,
and it would have never
stop.
been.
When the Louisiana Purchase happened, it basically allowed us to have the Louisiana Territory. It was not like Haiti or anything.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what is he talking about?
Oh, I don't know. He's a professor, man.
A Louisiana Purchase if there had never been a Boukman Dada, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, and Toussaint Louverture, because it was their victory over Napoleon's army that bankrupted the banks of France and forced them to sell its shares of land in America to this country.
No, just no.
Needed.
That's just wrong.
So it was so Louisiana Purchase, it was purchased from the French, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And the French also earned like Haiti too during that time period, I believe. Yeah.
Right. If I'm not mistaken, like France was embroiled in a really heavy war, I think. I don't know. I have to admit, I don't know the time frame on it, but like that seems like a stretch. Like a revolt, like a colony in revolt caused them to give up like a third of an entire massive country. Like that doesn't make any sense to me.
To a man named Stephen Gerard.
Someone in the chat says the reason Napoleon gave up on his colonial ambitions is because of the slave revolts in Haiti. This point is actually legit. Napoleon sold Louisiana to America after losing Haiti because the land in the Americas wasn't economically feasible for France anymore without Haiti's wealth. So that's actually true.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay. It just sounds ridiculous because it's coming from these dudes, but I mean, okay, interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
He was a European sea captain, and Toussaint Louverture gave him this money to get arms because they were going to set up a colony in Africa to fight slavery. And when Toussaint Louverture went to prison, Stephen Gerard would not return the money to Toussaint Louverture and his descendants and his family. So Stephen Gerard took the money, the millions of dollars that he got from Toussaint Louverture, came to America, started Gerard College, and he really became the first American millionaire. And so a lot of people don't know that Gerard College was founded on stolen money from Toussaint Louverture.
I don't know. You know what we need to do? We need to get somebody like fact checking some of this stuff, like real time for us. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I know he totally didn't say it, but I heard him say stolen money from Tupac because it cut out. And for whatever reason, that's what I heard.
Tupac had a lot of money to steal.
It's crazy.
Down in Peru, they found a mummified body of a Peruvian girl who was sacrificed about 500 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah, I know.
the Peruvian girl, if you look at her, her body's well preserved. She has African features, African
No, she doesn't.
She even
No,
has
she
African
doesn't.
style braids.
What?
Doesn't. God damn it. Okay, so she was a princess. They were sacrificing her. But she wasn't. How do you? Everything is African. Every feature is fucking African for these guys.
Pretty much.
Fucking hell.
Unless you look white, then it's not African.
She's not even black. She's not even.
Prince, stop being racist.
Peruvian mummified girl is still on display. The HMS Challenger was a ship that went on an expedition in the 1870s. And they went to different places around the world. And one of the places they went to was a place down in South America called Terra del Fuego. It's right on the tip of South America. And they took photographs of some of the Native American people there. And one of the Native Americans down there, one of the Native American pictures they took is a man who looks like a West African man. He's pure Native.
I love that. Doo.
Oh my
That
God.
fucking sound effect, dude, is so good. Oh,
Yes.
God, here. Fuck. Listen for the sound effect. This is amazing.
I'm really curious,
of the
like, how valid this photo is. Like, where did it, I guess I gotta wait for his explanation.
Right, yeah. Listen for the sound effect. This is so good.
Native Americans down there. One of the Native American pictures they took is a man who looks like a West African man. He's pure Native American, though. And this picture of this Native American man who looks like a West African, this photograph is at the London Museum to this day. So
Okay,
this
but
just
that's
goes
the
to show
problem.
many.
No, that's the problem. Is that everything they do, they see it by looks. They think, oh, this guy looks African, so he must be African. If he's actually a Native American and he was born in Native America, then that's what he is.
Right.
That he's not black. He's not African. He's Native American.
Right.
It's so fucking weird that they say Native American. I mean, it's technically correct because we are still in America down here, but it's so fucking weird that they say Native American because we don't say Native Americans here. We just say Aboriginal or, it's so fucking weird. It sounds so weird.
African-looking people were already over here.
No, there are no on Tierra del Fuego. Are you crazy?
Oh, 1 second. I gotta offload a very sleepy buddy. Here we go.
Snuggles.
Yeah. He started falling asleep on me, and I'm like, oh jeez, oh jeez. He's such a good boy. All right. Spiritual warfare.
Maybe some of them need Jesus. Who knows?
Remember, when they attacked Africa, they did not attack Africa physically. They did not attack Africa educationally. They attacked Africa spiritually.
Spiritual.
Jomo Kenyatta said when the European first came to Africa, the Africans had the land and the white man had the Bible. White man told him close his eyes, get on his knees and pray. Jomo said when the black man opened his eyes, the white man had the land and the black man had the Bible. We have bought into a story that we told them. They have twisted it. They got it twisted.
Oh, it was the other way.
I don't know what's going on with your microphone, Skepo, but it just keeps like cutting out as soon as you start talking.
Yes.
Skepo!
Oh no.
It's weird though because it's the same problem we always have with these documentaries. They're like, because I mean, don't get me wrong, they do kind of like have a point in some areas, but like you're talking about all of Africa compared to like very specific historical points in which shit happened. It's just fucking annoying.
What I'm really disliking is how they seriously romanticize Africa as if Africa was this perfect place before the white man showed up with religion or with whips or with whatever. And it really was not. Africa itself was full of religion and spirituality. And because of their views, they engaged in a lot of terrible things, such as child sacrifice, throwing just newborns like out of the mother's hut if they had any sort of disfigurement or disease or anything like that. You know, doing things like killing people for witchcraft and all sorts of stuff. Africa was not a pretty place. It's not somewhere that I don't think any modern day African American would want to live in back in those times. I mean, it was seriously brutal back then. Yeah,
seriously brutal. There's a couple of pretty cool spots in Africa now, but it's like very specific spots, you know.
Right.
We have now brought that story back.
What we
yeah,
call
I see
the
you
African.
trying to throw shade at Christianity. You ain't doing nothing.
And the communities that that person lived in is where the concept of religion comes from. Europe never produced a religion, ever.
What?
What about the pagan religions? Oh my gosh.
Who the fuck was this guy? I forgot. He's a rapper.
He said that Europe did not produce any religion.
That's ridiculous.
That's amazing.
Oh, wait. If Europe never produced any religion, if Europe has never had religion, then why are Africans religious? If Europe never ever had religion, such as Catholicism in particular, or paganism in particular, how could they spread religion to Africa?
I don't know.
Makes no sense.
I don't know. That's crazy. You should, if you get a chance to, Patty, you should try and tilt the microphone a little bit closer.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, it's all good. I can hear you. I just don't know if it's coming through the stream. That's all. But yeah, no, that's a good fucking point, man.
I'm like looking this dude up because I didn't know who he was. I know he's a rapper. Dude, why the fuck is this dude talking here? He has like no qualifications whatsoever. Why is he here?
I don't know.
We just grabbed this rapper because he's black. I don't know.
Asia receives its religion from Africa. All of them.
You got some road feedback there too, Patty. Patty? There we go.
I'm hearing so
Yeah, that's just too much background noise.
Yeah, it was like background feedback. Well, I'm just reminding because Patty was saying that she needed to do it over phone, but I didn't want to do this without Patty for sure because Patty's fucking amazing.
You practically screamed at her. Gosh.
I did not. I did not.
So scared.
On the road right now.
I know.
I'm literally on the road, so you guys might hear something. I just need to mute like I'm supposed to.
Buddhism, Hinduism, Shinto. As a matter of fact, to be more scholarly, starts with Hinduism. The first Hindu gods to come across were black Africans.
of course they were.
How?
Where was all the KANGZ and shit?
How?
Oh.
Okay. First, what did he say? First what? First
It was
God?
like Hinduism and let's see, Hinduism. What else?
Well, Shintoism, all this sort of shit. But he said the first Hindu gods to come over were African, as if Hinduism was born in Africa, which it wasn't. We know very, very specifically where Hinduism came from and how it developed. It's so fucking ridiculous. Is animism in the Indus Valley, and then it developed into Hinduism. Like, what the fuck, dude? This is so crazy.
Came across, they were called Sambo, which is now a derogatory term used for blacks, mulattoes, etc. Sambo.
Sambo? Is that actually...
I've never heard of such a thing. Like, I never heard it used like as some sort of prerogative against blacks, ever.
I've never heard that either. That's weird.
I have an aunt who she has a bunch of cows, and so she names all of her cows, and one of her cows was born all black, completely black cow. And she told me this. I just, you know, it's like almost my first day visiting her, and she told me that she named the black cow Sambo. And I asked her why, and she said, "Well, because he's all black." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And so I told my husband this. My husband was like, "Oh my god."
Oh.
Don't take it anyway because she's older. But Sambo apparently is like it does kind of relate to black people. I'm not sure. I don't know the history, but it kind of does.
Huh. That's weird. Yeah,
I just never heard about it before.
Yeah, me neither.
Apparently, the Sambo thing is, you know, the caricature thing where they have like red lips and
oh sure,
you know, I think that's what it refers to originally. That's why it's supposed to be racist or whatever.
Okay, got it.
I said Judaism, Christianity, and Islam are merely fragments from the periphery of the African spiritual system that you call voodoo.
What?
People said, you can't even go there with that. I can go there with that. And I can take on any theologian.
How are they related to voodoo?
Is he saying, like, Hinduism is related to... This is so much information.
This is so mixed up.
I don't see the connection.
Yeah.
I'm very lost here.
And I'll show you. Give me your 12 tribes. Give me your 12 disciples. Give me your 99 pearls of faith of Islam. And I'll show you those are nothing but sets of qualities and attributes. And I can juxtapose them in a perpendicular line besides the Orishas of the Yoruba, besides the Loas of the Voodoo, besides the Neters of Egypt, and show you we're talking about the same system.
Jesus.
Oh.
He claimed responsibility for Islam, though, right? So it's all the fault I got from that.
Yeah. He basically said that all of them stem from like original African religions and whatnot. Which, I mean, like, you know, who knows? Maybe in some way, like some of the tales and the systems that were built into a lot of religions do come from Africa. Maybe, but I mean, I fucking prove it. Like,
the most I could say about, the most I could really say about it is, like, I know for a fact that for Islam's case, like, it's basically based upon Christianity, and then Christianity is based upon Judaism. Yeah.
Yep. That's right.
Oh, and Muhammad was crazy.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
which
pedophile.
did not come into existence in the English form until the 1600s. The letter J was not.
Oh Jesus. Okay. No, we need the full effect of this one. This is
we gotta pay attention.
This is yeah. He's getting into the Jesus conspiracy. Just wait. Unauthorized expression says Jeff is so terrified of being called racist. I love being called racist. Come at me, bitch. Let's do it.
Faith of Islam, and I'll show you those are nothing but sets of qualities and attributes, and I can juxtapose them in a perpendicular line besides the Orishas of the Yoruba, besides the Loas of the Voodoo, besides the Neters of Egypt, and show you we're talking about the same system.
Jesus is a name which did not come into existence in the English form until the 1600s. The letter J was not invented until the 1600s. Let me say this again. Now, the letter J was not invented until the 1600s. So the reality is...
Pause. How could it not been there since the 1600s if it's like, you know, from the Latin alphabet?
I don't
Nobody
know.
ever pronounced J until the 1600s. You don't understand.
Jesus' actual name in the Bible is Yeshua. That's his Hebrew name in the Bible.
Yep, it's Yeshua.
The name Jesus didn't come up until a lot later. So his Hebrew name is actually Yeshua. But the word Jesus comes from the English language. It's just a simpler way for us to say Yeshua, because literally nobody says Yeshua. Not a lot of people surprisingly know that his real name is Yeshua. Sorry, my baby is talking in the background. But, you know, that's his actual name. So, I mean, the word Jesus didn't come up until about that time, because I mean, I don't know linguistics like that about when Jesus first came up, but that sounds about normal because his Hebrew name is Yeshua. It's not Jesus.
And then there was
Why
also,
you gotta be racist, Patty?
There's also some splinter groups that started calling him Jehovah, and most people, I think, shit, I really wish I knew this. I wish I knew this better. But I do know that some historical texts did call him Jehovah. Jesus was a name that developed from it too. Like, yeah. But I mean, this is going to be like a really salient point that he makes. Like, the J was not invented until now. Why is
invented it?
Yeah. Okay. So the letter J was differentiated from the I in the 17th century. But the J sound has been around for fucking ever. They just didn't use the letter J for it. So, remember, hey, you guys remember Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, when he's supposed to be like spelling out the name of Jesus in the stones, and he's like, oh yeah, I think it was Jehovah. He's like, in the Hebrew or whatever alphabet, it starts with I instead of J. So, forgot about that.
Jesus is not the name of that person. His name is an Amharic name, Yeshua.
1482, Leonardo da Vinci was commissioned to paint a painting of Christ and the 12 disciples. This was 1482, 10 years before Columbus set sail, because that painting...
What's up?
I swear I thought I could imagine him saying Da Vinci was black. That's why I was...
I thought that's where I was going to.
Yeah, in Hidden Colors 1. Yeah, in Hidden Colors 1, I'm pretty sure...
You're right!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in Hidden Colors 1, Da Vinci was a black man. Pretty sure.
would be the greatest weapon used in colonialism, and still is right now, because many black people around the world still have that original Last Supper. And so when Leonardo was asked to paint that picture, he got his uncle to actually sit in, and this is an historic record. He got his uncle to sit in and pose as Christ, and he got 12 criminals from a local jail who happened to be available to sit
citation.
in.
Yeah, dude. Wait. I don't know about this.
The Last Supper.
Who's fact checking this one? Prince?
Prince is on it, yeah.
What?
You're fact checking right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 the Vinci particular man, blah, 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 blah. They aren't really mentioning any of that. I'm trying to search for the models he used, but wait, painting mosaic.
I mean, if it's supposed to be a historical record, like, that's just a little crazy.
Everywhere. It's supposed to be everywhere if it was true, right? But I don't really see it. No, I don't think it's. I think they're kind of.
Maybe the chat. I am keeping an eye on the chat. Oh, and real fast actually. Let's switch over here. Charles Senhart. Hey, did you guys ever hear about Richie from Boston? I think you would enjoy the craziness that channel has. I will copy that and I'll check it out later. Wild Tanuki. That spicy RG is very pretty and attractive. It's true. It's true. She is. Jeff L. Bambino. Who here is going to VidCon? Me. I guess it's me.
Sadly, I cannot afford it, so.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not there. No, I can't find anything, man. I think they're bullshitting. I can't find anything about that.
Yeah, if anybody finds out anything interesting about that, go ahead and chat it. I'll try and catch it while we're doing this. Some say some little llama says some say that he used the same model for Jesus and Judas. I don't know. That's interesting. Oh, and somebody hopes I die of lung cancer. That's nice.
Oh.
The only reason you call God by that name is because your former enslaver, your former oppressor, taught you that name. He never taught you the real name. He never gave you the keys to the power to free yourself spiritually, so that you are now spiritually or religiously still a slave.
The African population.
Okay. Okay, I have questions though. So
what? What?
So we started out this segment on Jesus, and so the guy was like, there was no J, and okay, let's say there was no J. So what? But then they don't explain, and then it's Da Vinci was tasked to do this, and he had his uncle sit in and brought in criminals. Okay, let's say that's true. So what? What's the fucking point?
Know about things, but they never really connect them. But they're like, oh, but by the way, like it's just shitty trivia. It's a bunch of trivia. Doesn't mean anything.
Jesus fuck.
In North America is the third largest black population in the world in any geopolitical state. Why don't we have a single word out of one of our language for God that we use? The Arabs use their word for God. The Jews use their word for God. The Catholics use their word for God. The Japanese use their word for gods. The African is the only population that don't have an African word for God.
No. Like Arabic, like for God is Allah, and then for Japanese is Kami. So they just use the same word but in different languages.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree.
Studies coming out of Geneva over the last 30 years prove that we are the most spiritual people in America, in the world, not just America. We worship with a greater propensity than any other people in the world, but we don't have a single word in our language for our divine.
What?
The word Christ.
Maybe those African languages have some sort of word for God.
That's not what he says.
Do they have to do?
Christ means the anointed one. And there were many people before the birth of Jesus who also bore that title, Christ. There were 16 people who were known as Christ. So Jesus was the last of saviors of mankind, saviors of a group of people who were known as Christ.
When you talk about the image of Christ, it is important.
Oh, so somebody, let's see. So 10 years after starting the picture from, I think this is Leonardo, he found a man in prison whose face wore all the qualities of Judas for which he had been searching. So kind of true. That is interesting. That's kind of, that's really interesting. You should, if you get a chance, you should send that to me on Twitter. And then somebody else said,
all of them.
Where's the other one? Somebody just also sent something really good. God damn it. I swear to God. I swear to Black God, just in case Tariq's watching. Whatever, fuck it. Oh well, let's keep going.
That we no longer ascribe to the European image of Christ. Why? Because the brain is a associating organism. It stores everything as pictures. And because it is associating, if you force feed an African child that Christ is white, because the brain associates, as that child begins
oh
to
my
grow, the brain will
goodness.
associate white Christ with white people.
Just
And
stop, bro. Okay. Just because people interpret Jesus as white does not mean that they could, you know, see Jesus in other ways. Like, people interpret Jesus in different ways. However, how is this important to talk about what race he is if the message is supposed to be about love and peace? It doesn't make any sense to bring up his race.
Because everything is a race conspiracy. Everything. They're stealing the melanin, Tyler. They're stealing the melanin with their Jesus pictures.
Jesus is God, then white people must also be the gods of humanity.
Oh my
And so guess what?
So basically, by worshiping Jesus, they're worshiping the white man.
I think that's what he's trying to get to. Yeah.
So is he confirming that I'm better than him? I just need to know.
The power in the painting is transferred to the people who resemble that painting. And so it is difficult to pray to a white Jesus and not in some way feel inferior to white people. When I talk to Christian men.
Oh my fucking God! Where
really?
Holy fuck! That is racist as all shit.
But what if it's reversed? If Jesus is black, people feel inferior. or it doesn't count because it's white people.
Also, oh god, like what does this even matter? As far as I know, when you, oh fuck my life, I can't even talk. I fucking hate.
It really speaks volumes when they say that they cannot, you know, attribute his message and then, you know, not be enslaved with it because they're a certain skin color. It's just, I'm speechless right now, actually.
Yeah, this is pretty fucking, this is rude.
Ministers, I often tell them you have to change these pictures. They say it don't matter. Of course it matters. Why do you think the European went around the world and systematically altered the image of Christ in every major cathedral?
That's
every
because
church,
it's their
every
own
corner of the globe?
interpretation of
Because
Christ. Like, basically, they interpret him as white. Like, I guess the most possibility for his skin color is probably, like, darker because he might have been, yeah, he wasn't, like, in the Middle East, so he would probably be darker. But still, that was their interpretation of what they thought he was like.
Okay, so there... Oh, go ahead, please.
Hasn't it occurred to people that like they can also be like, oh, okay, you know what? I am a Christian, but I am black. So for me, Jesus is black. In my heart, Jesus is black. I believe in him being black because I choose how I want to see him. Because religion is, you know, it's spiritual. It's not something that you have like proof and whatever. You just feel it. It's faith. So, I mean, Patty, correct me if I'm wrong, but everyone has their own interpretation of what Jesus represents and how he looks, and it's everything else. That's the reason why every fucking statue, every fucking way of representing Jesus looks are different. Because people pour their own interpretation there. Jesus fuck!
Yeah, so when I lived in Panama, Central America for 2 years, they have, in some little llamas, and there's one in Peru as well, but there's two in Panama, and they're known as the Black Christ, and they were carved statues of the Christ figure, and they were carved and designed and painted by somebody who is black, who is very dark tone, and so they made Jesus black. And they're huge holy icons and shit. Nobody gets weird about it. Nobody fucking, like, freaks out. It's just like, oh, that's the Black Christ. It's Christ as a black man. Like, nobody cares. But the reason why the vast majority of the iconography of Jesus that is noteworthy and historic is honestly because of the iconoclasm. Like, the fucking, during the Protestant Reformation, and there was other times that it happened too. You guys ever heard of the term graven images? You ever heard that term before?
Yeah, that was like from the Ten Commandments.
Yeah, and depending on like what denomination you're part of, making a graven image is on par with making like an icon, you know, like the golden calf. So at some points during religious Christian fervor, if there was a depiction of Christ, that was unholy because it was a graven image, and there were riots where they would go through to all the fucking churches and smash everything that had Christ's picture on it. So all the old shit is, like, destroyed. So, and what happened after that, I mean, the people who were making all the art, most of that was European, most of them were white. Guess how they made Jesus look, you know, like...
Yeah.
I mean, call me fucking crazy, but 17th century fucking Italy, they're not gonna be like, hey, you know, I'm going to make a picture of a Christ, but I need to make sure he looks like a brown Hebrew Jew. No, they're not even gonna think about that. They're just gonna make it so the other Italians are gonna want to look at it. You know.
Yeah, that was.
You cut out again, Skepo.
God damn.
Yeah. You keep cutting out so hard, dude. So hard. Over and over. Like I heard, God damn it. That's all we heard. Anyway.
It is difficult to oppress a people whose image of the God doesn't look like the oppressor. But when God and the oppressor look one in the same, then the people will come to believe that the oppression was ordained by God.
Because people are stupid.
Hell.
And this dude just thinks people are dumb, I guess. I don't know.
Oh my brain hurts. Ugh.
What we find is that in this story that came out of Kemet, after Set reconstituted the body of her husband Asar, the spirit...
What's up? What's up, Patty?
Patty.
Oh, Patty. I think her internet's cutting out a little bit.
Of Asar came and impregnated his virgin.
Hello? Hello, come in?
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. And you're gone.
Oh, no.
I know. Must have went out of cell coverage. Oh, well.
And then 9 months later, the Virgin of Set gave birth to her son, Heru. And Heru was born 4,000 years ago on December the 25th.
So in 325, it was decided that Jesus Christ would be a son of God. In 325, it was decided that Jesus Christ would be born in the manger in Bethlehem. Up until the Nicene Council, most people believe that Jesus Christ was born in a cave in Ethiopia. Even in Ethiopia till today.
No.
What?
No. No.
Oh.
How? Okay. Oh my God. Okay. If Jesus was born in a fucking cave in Ethiopia, how in the fuck did he get crucified on the Temple Mount? Did it take him the 23 or the 33 fucking years to travel up the goddamn Nile River, then be smuggled across war zones into fucking Jerusalem? And somehow that, like, oh. I mean, it's fine. Like, if you want to be like, well, maybe Jesus, what the story of Jesus isn't exactly historically accurate. Sure, fine, fuck, whatever, that's cool. But like, he was from Ethiopia because I say so. Like, fuck off. Shut up. God.
Christmas was not celebrated in December 25th. For hundreds of years, it was celebrated in August. They moved it to December 25th because that's the Egyptian celebration of the birth of the son of the sun. Talking about Heru and Asar.
I don't. Do you know much about this one, Tyler?
I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention.
The reason why they moved Christmas to December 25th. Because I did read up on it like a while ago, but I cannot fucking for the life of me remember what it was. Because I know they moved it to the date to basically take over a previous religion's day.
Yeah, basically, I think it was like some sort of
but I don't know
the name of it.
I think Distant Worlds in chat. It was saying that was pagan solstice.
It was like some sort of Roman religion that was in the winter solstice.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't think it was like Egyptian. That doesn't make any sense that it would be Egyptian. That's weird.
The image that we have of Santa Claus is the rosy-cheeked European jolly guy.
Fuck.
And that image was created sometime in the early 1800s. But the real Santa Claus was a man by the name of St. Nicholas. And when I do research about St. Nicholas, the real St. Nicholas, the further back I go, the blacker St. Nicholas gets. And when you look at...
Didn't we cover this in Hidden Colors 1? Like,
no, we haven't.
No, we haven't? Because I remember we did one of these, and like he was talking about a black saint, and I was like, was he really black though? And it actually turned out that he was black. And I felt really dumb because I was wrong. But
I'm pretty sure Nicholas isn't fucking black, but let's look it up.
Yeah. Look up and see if St. Nicholas is black.
I think he was from Turkey, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe. I don't know.
The
chat's all we was Santa Claus and shit.
I'm getting a bunch of black sites though, black African resources.
Yeah, I don't know.
Shit.
I wouldn't stress too much about it.
Real black No, this is all terrible. I can't find anything here. It's just.
It's all. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Portraits of St. Nicholas in museums in Europe. St. Nicholas is totally black. And there's a museum in Italy that has an old painting of St. Nicholas, and he has like dark skin, woolly hair.
Wait. It's black face, white hand.
That's insane. That's insane.
Photoshop.
To realize that the Santa Claus that we know and love today is based on a black saint from Europe.
This music is dope, man.
The Council of Nicaea was an effort by Constantine to control the people through military and through religion. Whoever can control your concept of God has a weapon more powerful than any physical weapon, than any sword, any gun, any atomic weapon. Whoever controls how you relate to the unseen presence of God will not only control you, but can control your children and your children's children. So it was at the Council of Nicaea that the Constantine, this emperor, needed to find a way to consolidate his power, because the people that he conquered in various parts of the world had different religions, different ideologies. And it was at Nicaea where he brought together these theologians, these scholars, if you will, to hammer out one uniform theology that everyone would follow.
And that's, I will give him some credit. That's true. That's true. I mean, but like you can't you can't pin it all on just the Council of Nicaea. There was a lot of councils, and they did a lot of shit like shaping and changing Christianity. But yeah, no, I am realizing that, Goose Mother, there are actually a lot more black saints than I thought there were. I did a little bit of reading on it, and there's actually a fuck ton of black saints, and I had no idea. See,
I told you on the first movie, the Virgin of Poland. You know the I don't know how to call it. The one Virgin of Poland is black.
Yeah. I mean, that's just a testament to why we do these streams, guys, because it's educational for me.
Educational.
Constantine
Yeah.
could convince people to take Jesus as God on earth and change that he was a human being, then they could take over the control of the Catholic Church and make one.
What is he holding?
So they invited. And one of the priests was an African known as Arius. Bishop Arius. There's a book called Blacks Who Died for Jesus by Mark Hyman. Gives the story of Arius.
Okay.
Arius now gets word that Constantine knows Arius is coming to dispute this. Because he's saying, how are you going to tell people this? Nobody's going to believe that story. That Immaculate Conception? Come on, you know that's written on the walls of Egypt. That's a mythology, that's an analogy. You're not supposed to believe that story. That's a nice story to live by, that each and every one of us has Jesus within us and every birth is an Immaculate Conception. But there wasn't no one boy born as the Son of God to free. Come on, you can't. Constantine said, look, come on over here. Nicaea, I'm going to talk to you. He found out that he was going to be assassinated. So he fled into Europe with his followers.
Whoa, I've never heard that. That sounds weird. Really? I don't know. Does anybody, anybody in the chat, if you're familiar with Bishop Arius, if you can give us a little bit of insight on that, please, by all means. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's more than crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you never know. Like, history's fucking crazy, and all sorts of crazy shit happens, but I don't know, man.
It's the true
Arius
shit.
And his followers.
It's crazy. It turns out to be true. You're like, oh my gosh.
I know.
Became known as the Aryans. Wouldn't Hitler have a heart attack if he knew who the real Aryans were? They were a bunch of black folk.
Everybody.
Yeah, so somebody says Arius is a heretic, at least declared as heretic because he believed that Jesus was separate, body from spirit, that's not equal to the Holy Ghost, says Old Beast. And that's actually something that I thought was really interesting. There's been like major splits and divisions inside Christianity because of the debate between whether Jesus was actually flesh or whether he was spirit hiding in flesh, whether he was the Son of God or the actual embodiment of God. Like, they had they had times where they would like fight, like actually fight over just the semantics of what Jesus was supposed to be. It's crazy shit. Anyway, sorry.
Who was worshiping Isis and dealing with mostly of Kemetic religious philosophy. They said, we can't do this.
Dr. Phil Valentine, metaphysicist.
What the shit? Metaphysicist? Oh my god.
I'm convinced.
Oh, shit.
This is ridiculous.
I bet he thinks
this
he looks
reminds me,
pretty
there's no
spiffy,
man
too.
called Jesus Christ. We ain't never heard of him. Well, Jesus Christ will take Jesus, which was the sun god in the west, and we'll take Christos, which was the sun god in the east, and we'll put them together. We'll have a name. And so what did he do? A man named Apollonius of Tyana.
No, and I know what this is. Fuck, I'll let him go for a minute.
At that time, who had studied philosophy in Kemet, was teaching. He was a healer, working miracles. He was a hero at that time, so he became the template for Jesus Christ.
And so Apollonius, the story of Apollonius is interesting. He came about. He was a messianic figure. He had disciples and shit, and he was executed. I don't know if he was crucified. Maybe he was crucified. I can't remember. And some people will be like, well, that's a good reason why Jesus was a myth, blah, 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 blah. But the thing is, there were like fucking 10 people within the span of 100 years that all had the legend of the Messiah like wrapped around them. And a lot of them had Egyptian stories to back up like what they were doing and like where the whole thing was coming from. It's crazy, but you can't just say like Jesus is Apollonius. That's fucking stupid. That's like saying Biggie was Tupac. Like no.
The first slave ship, the first ship that was used to bring Africans from the continent and transport them across the Americas was known as the good ship Jesus. And as Alex Haley said when he did his research for Roots, he said that traditionally, when Africans were loaded on the slave ships, the captain in his log would see to it that the first two people loaded aboard those slave ships were a man and a woman, and they were recorded in the ship's log as Adam and Eve.
Oh.
I guess I'm supposed to stop being a Christian now because somebody named their ship after Jesus.
The African priests were always smarter than the European thief. Always remember that. The thief is never smarter than the one he or she is taking from. The one he or she is taking from is a superior being. That's why you're stealing. To why you're taking. Because
what did he just say?
Like the superior being is the person you want to steal from?
Oh God.
But if you stole from them and you got away with it, then wouldn't you be the superior being? I mean, at least smarter.
No, but it all ties up to blacks are the superior beings. They
Why
are.
are you being racist again?
I can't help it, man. I can't help it. This movie is bringing out all the fascists in me. I'm just slowly.
Do you have the hat? Do you have your fasci hat?
Yeah.
Put on your fasci hat. Do it.
Okay. I'm gonna. I had a problem with a hat I bought. I forgot that hats have a size.
Mm-hmm.
So when I bought it, I thought it would fit me, but it turns out that it does this. Inside or something, so let me go get a sock.
This is amazing.
Yeah, it's so good.
I am a fucking embarrassment. Sorry.
No, it's good. It's good.
Everything in this stream has been a disaster because of me. Admit it. Everything has faster.
No, it's good.
That just
It's
makes
good.
it better.
There
and
we
more
go.
unique.
Perfect.
Here
All
we
right.
Beautiful.
There we go. Commandant. All right, so let's catch up real quick on Super Chat. It's been a minute since we did.
Yeah, even. Oh my god.
We got Who Flung Poo dropping a deuce on a holiday stream. Thank you, Who Flung Poo. Ashley Hall dropped us $9. Wow. Jeff, the guy in Gilligan's Island, was a professor too, and he couldn't fix a hole in a boat. That's a good fucking point. Spawn Freak, cue the Jesus Christ is my nigga rap, which I have.
Oh,
I don't have Jesus Christ is my nigga as my ringtone. I almost changed it to that, but I do have Jesus is a friend of mine. But I keep wanting to change it to Jesus is my nigga, like real bad, all the time. Because I like when I'm in public and my phone rings and I like look like I do, you know, and like Jesus Christ jingles come on. People get really weirded out. I like that a lot. Tyler70 says, Jeff Holiday is Jesus, long hair, beard, shitlord has me convinced. Shh. Tell no one.
And in the case of King James, I believe it was 1604 when he initiated, 1604, 1609, when he commissioned a group of 50 men to pull together all of the references, all of the biblical references in existence. And one of the men who...
No, let me guess, Shakespeare.
Project
Was. Are we taking bets? Are we taking
Let me
bets?
guess, Shakespeare.
Okay, so Tyler says Shakespeare. Anybody else got any other bets?
Oh, no. I don't want to say anything. No.
Oh, man. Shakespeare's such a good answer. I'm trying to think of, like, oh, man. I'm going to go with a religious historical figure. I'll go with, I'm going to go with Martin Luther. Just because. It's probably not Martin Luther. It's probably Shakespeare. Let's see.
The most prolific writer of the English language at that time, a young poet by the name of William Shakespeare.
Oh!
Oh! Yep.
Called it.
That's right!
Oh my god.
Shit, I died.
We was poets and shit. I was, composure.
Shakespeare did work on that project, but as with many religious works that were commissioned...
No. Like, he was not working on the King James Bible. Like, basically, they had, like, a lot of people translating him, but it was not Shakespeare's.
Isn't that a rumor? That he wrote the King James Bible?
Yeah. And wasn't in Hidden Colors 1 they were saying that William Shakespeare was actually a black woman?
No, it was like some sort of Twitter meme.
Oh.
No, I think they did in the movie too.
They said something about Shakespeare and blackness. I don't know what the fuck it was. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Like, it wasn't like actually it was all the black woman, and like Shakespeare himself couldn't like even write his own name or something like that, so he basically stole it from this black woman or something like that.
That might have just been what we read on Twitter though. It might not have been in Hidden Colors. I can't remember. I mean, it all blends together after a while.
Sounds bullshitty enough to be here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
In that era, none of the authors were allowed to put their signatures on their works. So artists, being the creative people that they are, found creative ways of putting their signatures.
Okay.
In Psalms 46, verse 3, and Psalms 46, verse 9. 46 word from the beginning of Psalms 46 is the word shake. The 46 word from the end of Psalms.
Wow.
46.
That's like the best evidence ever for Shakespeare.
That is reaching like I've never.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm convinced. It's done. That's it.
Ooh. Shakespeare was foretold in the Bible code. This is Bible code kind of shit. Oh my god. I'm gonna have a fucking aneurysm. My brain is gonna fucking detonate, I swear to god.
9 is the word spear, Shakespeare's name. Now, if you look at other versions of the Bible, not the King James version, but other versions of the Bible, you won't find that same correlation.
That's because
Only
they
in the King
translated
James.
from the freaking Hebrew and the Greek into English.
Oh my god! You cannot find English words in another Bible in another language. Holy shit!
But okay. See, but that's the thing though, Tyler. That's the thing. See, the Black Hebrews, they knew that one day there would become a man who's going to be writing all the tales of. I guess he was going to be working on the Bible, even though there's no evidence he ever worked on the Bible ever. And he was going to name himself Shakespeare. So they wrote it in the proper Hebrew, knowing that it would get translated with this very complicated combination of shit, so that if you looked at it just right, you'd be like, Shakespeare. I get it.
Oh.
We know. Winky face, you know.
Wink, wink, not.
What the fuck is this? What is this dude talking about?
Version.
We are so far removed from the reality of our African spirituality. And until we cast aside that white God, we can't be free.
What white god?
Cast aside that white god so you could be free and shit.
And shit.
Oh,
Medical
no.
warfare.
Oh fuck! Here we go. Here we go for this one.
Oh, this is my jam. This is my jam.
Here's my prediction. Like my prediction is that like Ebola is actually something that's not from Africa.
Yep, it's probably
And white
engineered.
people are like trading black people's organs.
Yep.
Jeff's all stretching.
No. Have you seen that Facebook post where like the organ trafficking is a real problem? They want our melanin. Our melanin is valuable. How in the fuck do you extract melanin from people? Are you crazy?
You gotta be like you gotta be like me. You gotta be a melanin vampire. You just suck it right out of them. That's how I get all my melanin. I lure him in with that.
They were Dracula, vampire kings and shit too. You give him that too.
I lure him in with that good white dick. I lure him in with that. I lure him in with that good white dick, and I steal their fucking melanin, man.
You guys remember the Adventure Time vampire?
Yes. I'm fucking going to hell with this shit. I actually said that good white dick. Jesus fuck.
You're disgusting.
Take away my channel.
There's a war of genocide that the ignorance of Europe and Asia is allowing them, for the sake of trying not to be faced with genetic annihilation, allow them to concoct ways of murdering us. I mean, we can go to
Holy fuck! This sounds like white genocide again.
It doesn't it? It really does.
Wait.
Or we can go to the.
Okay, so white people were scared of being genocided, so they genocided Africans?
That's how it goes. That's what he's saying.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Wait. Because I never realized this. Is genociding an actual verb? Because I never heard it in my...
No, I don't think it is.
I only heard it just genocide, not genociding.
Yeah.
Because
I use it ironically. I hope people don't actually use that and actually that they're saying a word. That would be really bad.
I've seen it. I'm like, do you genocide someone? Like, it makes no fucking sense.
I'm gonna genocide you, man.
Genocide for everyone.
Genocides for some, small vials of melanin for others.
You know, like loots for Africa. We're gonna change it now to genocides for Africa.
Genocides for Africa. Jesus.
Yeah.
AIDS.
AIDS.
And look at this thing in Africa, but we got AIDS, and so everybody in Africa, all of a sudden, some of the first
No.
in New York City and homosexual.
I'm sorry. No. I see where he's gonna go with this. He's gonna start saying AIDS and HIV in Africa was started by the white man. That's what he's gonna say. So everybody be prepared for it, because that's exactly what he's gonna say.
Probably, yeah. Oh my God.
Community, and that pops up in Africa, and tens of millions of people have got it, and the pharmaceutical company is going crazy selling them drugs that they have to stay on for perpetuity.
No, but
billions
what?
and billions of.
We've been over this. You guys remember Martin Shkreli, right? The media got onto him about selling to pharmaceutical companies for higher than the price. He sells his medicine to Africa for $1. Just $1. Yep. It doesn't take that. It's not that hard for them to get HIV/AIDS medication. HIV/AIDS has is a virus that destroys your immune system. It doesn't come from white people. You don't just get it from white people. But I mean, the history of it coming to Western civilization was from a French pilot who was bisexual, and he had sex with both women and men. And so he spread the disease that way, and he happened to be an airline pilot. But in Africa, it's a lot different. It has a lot more to do with the fact that there's a lot of rape in Africa. African people share HIV/AIDS with each other. It's not like people are just pumping this disease into people's veins while they sleep.
They turn on the fire hose and like, time to get your AIDS. No big deal.
Time to get your AIDS.
Oh my
Come on,
God.
everybody. It's AIDS time for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
This one person on Twitter, I remember. There was this one person in Twitter that I saw, and they were like, I'm not saying that they are sending condoms to Africa because they want there to be less Africans, but that was the tweet. And I was like, do you really think people want people in Africa to not have fucking STDs because they
Yeah, but that's what rapists think about. The first thing a rapist thinks about is, I'm gonna put this thing on me before I go rape somebody.
Yeah.
Ooh, here I go raping again.
Before I'm gonna go raping, I make sure I put on my raping suit, my raping condom. Here we go.
Here I go raping again.
Hi ho, it's off to rape I go. All right.
This is terrible because feminists are going to take this one clip and say, look, these people support rape.
They support rape.
Not trillions of dollars, you are guaranteed, because all these Africans have to take this medicine for the rest of their life.
Well, then don't get AIDS. That's real simple.
You tell me the guy who enslaved me, the guy who practiced colonialism against me, the guy who raped my mama, my sister.
But who actually did that? Did his mama and brother and all them actually get raped?
Yeah, he's basically trying to just collectivize black people as one and the same, not as individuals. Yeah,
right.
Exactly. He's taking other people's struggles and applying them to himself. I can't stand that.
Me apart with horses, all of a sudden is going to come to my well-being and make me a medicine that's good for me, when his whole history is about profit and genocide at any cost, even if it meant killing his mother. And I'm not just talking about our European brothers and sisters as regards dealing with the black brothers and sisters. If you just read books on the Inquisition and the horror and the genocide waged against European working people and the women of Europe is so horrific, it makes even the transatlantic slave trade looks pale sometimes.
That's fine. Don't take your rape medication. Don't take your not rape medication. Don't take your AIDS medication.
Holy shit, Patty.
Sorry.
Best ever.
You better take your rape medication or you're going to go out there raping people. No, don't take your AIDS medication. Don't do it because of those evil white people. Don't take your AIDS medication. You're going to sit there, you're going to rot, and you're going to die. The reality is that people inflict conquest and wars on each other all the time. Africans are not any specialer about it because they were just as bad. The Rwandan genocide was the worst of the genocides that we've ever seen with black people attacking black people. To pretend that suddenly this is the first time Africans have experienced war and terror because the Europeans did it is a horrible thing to do and say.
Yeah, it is. It honestly is. So I have noticed there's a couple of people in the chat who have said that circumcision has shown I know, man, I know. But I'm gonna just touch on it for a quick hot fucking minute, just so everybody's clear. I did make a video on it. You can go and check it out. I do have sources on it. By all means, feel free to go back and look at it. I probably should revisit it again here pretty soon. But the problem with the study that they did, where circumcision of Africans, this is done in Africa, about the lack of contracting HIV with circumcised men. The problem with it is that, one, the study was unethical as fuck, the way they fucking did it. Two, the sample size is extremely fucking small, and everybody says, oh, it's a definitive statement, and it's not. And three, they started that study, the timeline of them being able to contract AIDS, the day that they got circumcised. Now, let me ask you a fucking question. Let me ask everybody the fucking question. You just got 40% of your pleasure neurons chopped off the tip of your fucking dick. You gonna go out and get fucking laid for a while? Probably not.
How old were these people when they got this?
Grown men. Grown men.
Oh my God, no, you're not going out for a while.
And this is after I think the study was either 3 or 6 months, but it doesn't even fucking matter. But they start the data collection the day that they get fucking chopped. You know, like, even if you heal fast, fuck, dude, of course there's gonna be a drop in how many people catch STDs. You gotta go and stuff your fucking bleeding cock in somebody's vagina?
Right.
No, you're not going to.
Oh my God!
Right. Now, I'm neither against it or for it, but what I would question that study is because HIV/AIDS doesn't show up in your body until it can be months, it could be years until you actually test positive for HIV/AIDS. So how do they actually know that these people have not already contracted the disease? Because I assure you, those grown men have likely already had sex.
And it's a tricky thing to track with a study, man. It's a tricky thing, and that's one of the reasons why most people throw that study out, and it's not a very good reason to think about it.
It doesn't sound like a good study.
Like my buddy says, and I'm happy in the conversation, Brown Coat, because you're a cool dude. Get laid hell. When I got clipped, I couldn't walk for 1.5 years. Like, dude, I can't even imagine. Like, I got clipped when I was a baby. I can't imagine what that would be like getting clipped when you're a fucking adult. Ow.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. Fuck that. Jesus. And somebody else says, freshly cut, I'm gonna go colonize me some pussy. Yeah. All right, hey, Tyler, I need to pee real quick. Do you want to take the remote?
Sure.
All right, cool. Here. You're up. I'll be right back.
Okay.
The whole AIDS hoax has.
Did he just call it a hoax? Did he just call it a hoax?
Yes, he just did.
No.
Please. I want to hear it again.
Oh, fuck.
And about us getting to take the medication.
Oh my God.
There's no HIV that creates AIDS.
Oh my God.
He's fucking denying.
He's really doing this. Oh my God.
Please.
This is terrible.
Holy fuck.
This is gonna get somebody killed.
Jeez.
We need to talk about this. Holy shit. Dude, how are you going to... Oh!
It's so irresponsible.
This is so irresponsible. It is.
All the fucking retards that are going to watch this fucking movie at school because it's progressive and whatever are going to think that fucking AIDS is a hoax.
Here, let's keep listening. I almost want to give him the benefit of doubt. I just want to know what he's gonna say. I just want to know what he's gonna say.
Found that the HIV is a very innocuous, very benign so-called virus.
So-called?
No, okay. He had his chance and he lost it.
So if you have HIV, just don't take your medication because it's benign. What do you need medication for?
Just don't take your medication because of the evil white people. He's gonna get somebody killed.
Holy fuck.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Wow.
There are countless people in Africa who die, who rot in their bed dying because of this disease and because they don't have the funds to get the medication. And he's going to sit here and say that HIV/AIDS is a benign, small virus. Oh my God.
And doesn't cause anything. What does cause AIDS is drugs.
Oh my God.
What are you talking about?
Oh my goodness.
Fuck, he is
Oh
so
my
stupid.
goodness.
Oh.
If he thinks that, I want him to have unprotected sex with somebody that's HIV
I bet you
positive or has
won't.
AIDS.
I bet you won't.
Of course not.
Holy fuck.
But it's
Oh my
drugs.
God.
It has nothing to do with HIV. So go ahead.
I can't believe it.
The taking of medications. And what created the AIDS condition in the homosexual community that came what is known as GRID, gay-related immunodeficiency, were these poppers, amyl nitrate and butyl nitrate.
No, it was from them having sex. Unprotected.
No.
No. Fuck.
We do. We have no idea. First of all, we don't really know where HIV/AIDS actually comes from. As far as I know, I don't think they
Yeah,
know
the
yet
closest
where it
thing I
comes from.
heard about was basically some sort of person just having sex with a primate or something. But I'm
what
not
I've
even sure if
heard.
it's true or not.
Exactly, that's what I've heard. And I've heard that they're studying in actual feces to see maybe if there's something in feces that causes it, because it is true that gay men in particular have higher rates of HIV/AIDS, but we don't know why. We don't know why. We don't know why, why that is. It could be the sexual act of, anal sex or what. We don't know. But to say that it comes from drugs is absolutely irresponsible. And then to tell people to not take their drugs because HIV/AIDS comes from drugs, that's irresponsible as heck.
Terrible. This is so ignorant.
He should be laughed out of any room he walks into.
Absolutely.
This is so ignorant. This dude doesn't know what he's talking about.
That, this is just like, I'm sorry, but this is just like, and I hate to bring veganism into this because I feel like I bring it into everything. But this is like the pseudoscience about how people spread rumors that if you do a certain thing or you act a certain way, you'll avoid cancer or you'll avoid this disease and that disease. When that's not
Jeff,
true.
Basically what you
Spreading
missed in the
pseudoscience
video
is wrong.
clip, basically.
You're gonna lose your shit. You're gonna lose your shit. Prepare yourself.
Okay, so basically what happened
Prepare your anus.
was that he said that
rewind
AIDS
it.
is actually a hoax.
It needs to be
What
heard
is a
again.
hoax?
It's insane.
AIDS.
Rewind it. Let him hear it again.
Is a hoax.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
he needs
Just rewind it. Rewind it.
Yeah.
Rewind it.
Okay, hit me.
Just listen to that a little bit.
All of a sudden, it's going to come to my well-being.
Not correct, Jeff. Prepare yourself.
To take the medication.
All of a sudden, it's going to come to my well-being
Yeah,
and make me
let's
a
do it.
medicine that's good for me, when his whole history is about profit and genocide at any cost, even if it meant killing his mother. And I'm not just talking about our European brothers and sisters as regards.
Just let it go. Let it go.
Take
It's
the medication.
No,
Black
let it
brothers
go.
and sisters. Terrific. It makes even the transatlantic slave trade looks pale sometimes.
okay.
The whole AIDS hoax has been about us getting to take the medication. There's no HIV that creates AIDS. They found that the HIV is a very innocuous, very benign so-called virus and doesn't cause anything. What does cause AIDS is drugs. The taking of medications. And what created the AIDS condition in the homosexual community that came...
You guys hear the porn music in the background?
Gay-related immunodeficiency were these poppers, amyl nitrate and butyl nitrate. These things that were used for the heart to dilate the muscles. Well,
This deserves its own video, Jeff.
Right, Jeff? Oh my god.
Get somebody killed.
This is a hoax. They're saying taking meds makes you.
This is so bad.
Oh my god.
Okay. First of all,
You guys. You guys remember smoking weed makes you gay? Now taking medication makes you get HIV.
Naturally.
you incredible, amazing, Dumb shit. What the fuck? How in the fuck did this dude come to this conclusion? Holy freaking fucking shit. I thought, and I was naive. I thought that only pretentious upper middle class white dudes who wanted to get book deals would write things like, well, HIV's just a fucking myth. No, apparently I was very, very wrong.
You would expect this from right-wingers, like real far right-wingers.
You would expect this from somebody who was like a fucking 9/11 truther or like or a flat earther or an anti-vaxxer or some shit like that. Like this, AIDS denialism. For anybody who's watching out there live, one of my absolutely favorite people in the world, Miles Power, has done amazing videos on AIDS denialism. And he just fucking lays waste. He carpet bombs their arguments. It's incredible. But this is
I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know people denied AIDS.
Oh, it's huge. Dude, it's huge.
What?
Oh, yes. AIDS denialism is huge. But usually the AIDS denialism is being done by upper middle class conspiracy theory bored white fuckheads. Like, that's usually where it comes from. I've never heard it used in this frame of reference. This is fucking crazy.
I'm not surprised.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
Right.
Well, that means that's also the white man's fault.
Oh my god.
Right.
And the other thing I want to make mention too was, so I see GHB there, and GHB is a date rape drug. I mean, it's also a recreational drug as well, but it reminded me when we were talking about like date rape and that sort of thing. I wanted to say, but I totally forgot. I feel like, and this is just for me personally, I feel like date rape drugs are bullshit. And the reason why I say this is very simple. I popped a bunch of roofies once, and I didn't get laid. I just went to sleep. It was very disappointing. I don't think they work at all.
Are you sure you took enough?
I don't know, man. I took a whole lot, but you know, well, anyway, let's.
This man.
All right.
That's very
the homosexual community, the one who created it.
Oh God, it's like Freddie Mercury. What are you saying, Prince?
Yeah.
Can you kick this man out the stream? That joke was terrible. Please kick him out.
Which guy? Oh, kick me out?
I don't want to stream with him anymore.
All right, I gotta get kicked out now. Bye, guys.
Just the kind of person who you go over his house and he'll.
Hey. Okay.
Adoptive uncle, come back.
These are the popping things. When you broke the seal, it made a pop, so they call them poppers. It was the inhalation of these things that began to bring down the so-called immune system of the homosexuals. And they
Wait. So let me. Okay, so poppers. Snorting poppers knock down your immune system. If you were the homosexuals, it hit the poppers, their immune system went down, and they contracted HIV.
Yes, yeah. Jeff. Thank you for keeping up. That yes.
But I thought HIV was created by drugs, by the drugs that they were taking to.
No. It's from poppers.
Oh.
No, that was 5 minutes, 5 seconds ago. Now it's because of other reasons, man. Keep up.
I'm trying.
Began to have this immunodeficiency based upon overuse of this. Why did they use these poppers? Because when they used these poppers and they inhaled it, not only did they get the rush, but the anus began to dilate and relax.
No idea. You have no fucking idea. You have no idea. Do not. Oh my fucking god! You haven't taken a cock of your ass in your life, man. You don't have any idea. You're so angry right now. You don't know what you're talking about.
Did that make them back into penises because their butts were open a little bit more? It's just naturally that's what happens. You just fall on penises.
Do poppers get AIDS type butthole? Got it.
You don't know how buttholes work. You don't know how Fuck you.
This is the best Hidden Colors ever. Oh my god.
Holy shit. He's got to be
So
a
the
pope.
homosexuals were using this left and right. Thousands are being sold here in New York. And when they found that, they did not put in that poppers were the ones.
I'm having a hard time, guys. This is getting rough. This is getting rough. Oh. Wow.
He gets real excited when he says it too. Look at his face.
Yeah, look at his face.
I bet he's tried him. I bet his butthole puckered up like that. That's why he says
His fucking hat, dude. I swear to God, the fucking hat is killing me. The purple felt onk is just too much. And he's got this smarmy look. And he's like, it makes your anus real tight. Ooh.
Oh my God.
And that drugs and these poisonous medications were creating the conditions called AIDS. They took the opportunity to ride the HIV/AIDS connection because they knew the money that would be made and that they could recruit people into believing that a heinous disease
An anus?
that attacked everybody.
An anus disease? That's quite the anus disease you have there, sir.
This dude doesn't even know what AIDS is. He doesn't know. He just knows the name and he knows it's a bad thing that happens to gays only. He doesn't even know what it is.
That's right. Dilate means open. It gives you a loose butthole. But why would you... Okay, so if you're gay, why would you want to loosen your butthole? You want that tight so it's going to be like a really good fucking ride, you know?
Well, it loosens a little bit. Just a little. So that they can fall on the penises easier.
Oh.
No. Hold on. I will not tolerate people not understanding how anal sex works because it's fantastic.
Oh,
okay?
please tell me all about it.
Ooh, yes. Is this story time? Because I want to know.
It's not story time. It's just simple education. You don't want your asshole to be clenched, yeah? Because it hurts. You want to be relaxed. Okay, so what he's saying is it helps people have anal sex because it makes your butthole relax, basically.
It's got to be elastic, but it still has to be tight.
No.
No?
Actually, no.
Actually, no?
No, you need to prepare. You haven't had anal sex in your life, right?
I've had quite a bit of anal sex in my life, for sure.
Yeah?
Every day.
Yeah.
No, are you kidding me, or are you saying it for real, man?
No, I've legitimately had a lot of anal sex. Absolutely.
Okay, so you know how it works. Why are you telling me, oh, you need to be tight
Well,
or whatever?
when somebody said like they wanted to be loose, I'm thinking it's gonna hang like the sleeve of a wizard, and you're gonna be like mashing into like a jar of strawberry jam or some shit. Like that's not what anybody wants. You know?
No, just a little loose.
A little loose. It's gotta be giving. It's gotta be giving and accepting. But I mean, I'm just saying.
Around your penis like a tight embrace. Oh my God.
I mean, it's great it's great when it's super tight because then it's like trying to poop you out and you're like, no, absolutely.
Oh my God, no.
Yes.
It's a horrible image.
Yes.
I hope there's lube if it's super tight.
Oh God, yeah, you gotta slather up like you're fucking dressing a turkey or something, you know.
Yeah, you need to butter up your pooper really good. Otherwise, it's going to work.
Tyler and Patty are totally silent right now.
Yeah, I am not going to comment about anal sex.
All right.
All the ones that have had anal sex are the ones talking about anal sex. The ones like, yeah.
Try it. It's really good. Try it. It's good.
Okay.
Always wise to study your enemy. If you're going to defeat someone, you must know their strengths and their weaknesses.
People have been utilizing Africans to heal themselves for centuries. And people have been going to African shamans, African witch doctors to find cures for themselves, that Eastern medicine. So people have been going to African people to cure themselves for years.
With lutes.
The doctor that's given credit for a lot of the internal examinations that women go through, those instruments were first tested on women who were enslaved. And I can only imagine, well, I can't even imagine. A woman could imagine. But the kind of pain that that woman was put through to test those particular iron steel objects that would go up through their bodies.
In the United States, what they would do with slave children, and this has been well documented, to cure rheumatism and to cure gout and to cure arthritis, they would place their feet on top of a slave child and just keep their feet there for hours, thinking that...
What?
What is this? No! What are you talking about?
There's a drawing on the thing that means that it's true, right? There's a guy.
He's so mad though. He's so offended right now. Look at him. He's like, I have
it almost looks like a photograph.
That just sounds so weird though. Like, how would you convince somebody that that's gonna cure your rheumatoid arthritis? Like, oh, your shit aches. Just step on a black kid. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Maybe they were warned.
I mean, were people like that legitimately stupid? That doesn't make any sense.
No, I've never heard of this practice, but I have heard. He was sort of right about the gynecology thing. The father of gynecology, did actually study on black women. I don't know if they were slaves, but I don't think it was all that consensual that he studied on black women for gynecology. So there is some truth to that. Yeah, it is. There's some truth to that. But again, that doesn't mean that black women should forego going to the doctor just because of the past. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. That's fucking rough, man. That's crazy. I mean, that doesn't really surprise me, but you know.
That the child, the melanin would draw out whatever sickness the slave masters would have.
Well, wait. So, wait. So you're sick and you put your feet on a black kid and the black kid's melanin would draw out the sickness through your feet.
How come I've never heard that melanin is magic and special and shit? Like, if this was even known back then,
there's no way people were that stupid back then.
No, I call bullshit. You know why? Because they're not mentioning loots anywhere. And they need to. This is bullshit. They need to play the loot on top of the feet of the person, and he can stand on top of the kid if he wants. You need to play it, otherwise it doesn't work.
I agree. Then I would believe it. I don't believe it now.
But there's no way. There's no way people were that stupid back then. I have a hard time believing that.
See, I'm so glad we're skeptics.
Yeah. halfway there.
Know that a lot of things have happened in our hospitals. We know that experiments was used on our people in almost every city hospital in America.
Okay.
Henrietta Lacks was a sister who lived in Baltimore and who had cervical cancer and ultimately died of cervical cancer.
That's too bad.
And the doctors harvested some of her cells, and what they discovered in performing tests on her cells were that her cells were immune to specific diseases, specific cancers. So there was a quality in her cells that was resistant to disease, and they began to develop a host of
I'm sorry,
vaccines.
he was wrong. He was wrong. They weren't immune to other cancer cells. They were cancer cells. They didn't just scoop some cells. Cancer cells, as far I don't know, I'm not an expert on cancer, but cancer cells don't go infecting other cancer cells. Cancer cells are cancer cells.
Yep.
They took cervical cancer cells out of her and collected them. What they found out was that her cells were immortal. They don't die. They actually replicate over and over and over. They don't die even after she's gone.
Yep.
So her cells weren't killing other cancer cells. They just found that her cells are immortal. That's it.
So That is really it is a really fascinating case because like parts of her cells are still alive today, and they're like spread all across the fucking world. Seriously, yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah. These cancer cells that came from this young. If this is the woman that I think me and Patty are talking about the same person. I hope that the film is talking about who we're talking about.
But cancer cells can infect normal cells, though. They don't turn other cancer cells.
It depends. It depends. So the thing about cancer is like cancer becomes a really serious problem when it undergoes something called angiogenesis. And angiogenesis means that the cancer cells in and of themselves has developed its own circulatory system. So it's like a self-containing replicating mass inside the body. And cancer also has unrestricted cell growth. There's no telomere restrictions. It's just unregulated, just fucking blows up, keeps growing. So after she died, they still had these living cancer cells. They kept feeding them in nutrients, and then they kept replicating, effectively being immortal parts of her cancer. And now those replicating bits are like all over the world and studied constantly. I think that's what they're talking about. It might be we might be thinking about the wrong person. Maybe they were talking about somebody else, but I think we were talking about the right person.
That person, yeah, Henrietta Lacks. Yes, I'm reading right now.
Okay.
Person.
In treatment modalities using the cells of this black woman, and they never told her family that they had harvested her cells, that they had made millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars.
Henrietta Lacks' own DNA and her cells are all over the world right now.
Yeah, it's her.
It was so prolific,
that's her.
It just kept on multiplying. That was an indication of the fact that as African peoples, we hold the genetics for eternal youth.
Oh! Like, no wonder Samuel L. Jackson looks so young because of eternal youth.
No.
Oh, wait, what did they say? Oh my god.
They just
said basically say that black people look young forever.
They hold the secret to the fountain of youth.
True.
What?
If that were true, why do black people live all the time? Die all the time? Like what?
Oh my god.
Because of the medicine.
Black people die all the time.
Yeah, the AIDS medicine. The AIDS medicine is killing them. AIDS medicine is killing them.
The rape medication is killing them. It all ties up.
Jesus fuck, man.
That's why they keep telling them not to forget it.
Many medical experiments are done on blacks in prison.
There's a book called Acres of Skin that talks about the experiments that was done on black men in Philadelphia prisons from the 1950s to the 1970s.
In addition to the many medical experiments that are done on blacks in hospitals and prisons.
What's that?
They experimented on school kids, inoculated them against their will, and tested all sorts of crazy shit on them in the 30s.
I think you're right,
40s,
yeah.
40s.
Around the country, many people believe that chemtrails that are often seen over black communities purposely contain chemicals that create adverse reactions within the black community.
Oh,
the chemtrails.
Oh no, we're getting into chemtrails, guys.
Oh no.
Call Alex Jones.
This is like Black Alex.
It's just like Black Alex Jones. Imagine my shock. All right, let's do it.
Because of what they contain: barium, strontium, and genetically altered red blood cells. What are genetically altered red blood cells doing in an aerosol?
If you go to Harvard.
What?
Red blood cells.
What? What the fuck did he just say? That blood cells were what?
That chemtrails over black neighborhoods are being sprayed with genetically engineered red blood cells.
Zombies are made.
God.
This is exactly how it happens. Thanks.
Oh my god.
Chemtrails. Red blood cells in the chemtrails.
The tallest building on Harvard University is called the Herbarium. The Herbarium. In there, every floor is dedicated to some parts of Africa and Asia, and mostly Africa, where the young scholars who are working on their PhD is sent to study the fauna and the herbs and the plants of these places and to interview the so-called healers and witch doctors and come back to Harvard and tell what medicine, what medicinal purposes these herbs, fauna, and plants are used for. And then they create synthetic versions of it and sell that formula to the pharmaceutical companies.
There's a drug epidemic in a neighborhood and the hospital is quiet. Forget law enforcement for a minute. The hospital, this is the center of the community's health, and the hospital is quiet. So we're in a situation where the institutions by which we live are conspiring against us.
They aren't. They aren't. They aren't conspiring against you. They aren't.
There's no such thing as an institution that is standing with its lights on and people going in and out of the institution, and you're still not receiving the service of the institution.
Huh?
Yeah. How is that possible that there is a standing hospital in most neighborhoods and everyone's sick? How is it possible that there is a police department in every neighborhood?
Because of tax dollars?
Because people live longer, and the longer you live, the sicker you fucking get? Jesus. Oh my god.
Crime is still what it is. How is it possible that there is a public school and people are dumber? I argue conspiracy.
Clearly.
It's mostly because of the lack of funding in some areas in the States. So that's why maybe some people are getting dumber.
And because I keep watching Hidden Colors movies.
How is it possible that there is a school next to me and I'm not like absorbing the knowledge through osmosis? You know, why isn't this happening?
Because you don't have enough melanin. Your radio is weak. You got to get more melanin, then you can just absorb all that knowledge through the air.
I'm Latina. I have more melanin than you.
No, you don't. No, you don't. I've been harvesting that shit. I like bathe in fucking like a bathtub full of melanin every night. Don't get on my level.
Wait, don't you collect melanin through penis sucking?
No, not penis sucking. Just veins. I suck it right out of the skin. I don't have to touch their penises. That's just a bonus.
The black community is really the only community that's really afraid of hospitals. If you go around.
Come on, guys. We're getting serious. We're watching a movie. Come on, stop it.
Look at that guy's face. Oh my god. You paused at the right moment. He's looking like Jesus, take me now.
I think he was listening to you, Jeff. I think that's the reason.
Any minute now, this white boy's gonna come in and suck the melanin right out of my dick.
You're gonna absorb it.
I want this on video. Please promise that this will win the Super Guts. Please promise that when you reach this part of the thing, they're going to include the whole thing. Please.
Sure.
This
sure.
And the anal sex part and.
I'm into it. It's gonna take a few months to get to this part of the Super. We have so much footage that I'm still going through. I just finished cutting up the first one, that first stream, because that was like 4.5 hours. That's ridiculous. By the way, I should probably check real quick. So we've been going for about 2 hours now. How's everybody feeling? You want to keep going?
Yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah? How about you, Patty, Skepo?
Oh shit, I was muted. I'm good.
Yeah?
We're good.
How about you, Patty?
I'm about to walk into Walmart, so I'll have to see you guys later. If you guys are still going, I'll come back. But if not, then bye.
Okay. Well, I hope you come back. Absolutely. I
think you guys will still be by the time I get back.
We'll probably still be going, yeah. So the Hate Camel says, Shakespeare was a spear chucker. Might have been, man. Might have been. November Mind. Butt sex is an addictive drug, thus drugs equals AIDS. He's a fan of butt sex and drugs. I agree. November Mind also said...
You gotta take your rape meds, though.
That's right. You gotta take your rape meds. November Mind also says, you guys didn't know Alex Jones is black. I thought he might be. And Apocal7964, hashtag anal sex loots for Africa. Thank you very much, guys. Very appreciative of your generosity. Let's keep going.
The country and talk to different African American people, they have horror stories about certain hospitals within the neighborhoods. Out here in Los Angeles, you have a hospital called King Drew Medical Center. Well, it was closed down, but they had a hospital called the King Drew Medical Center. And if you ask any black person in Los Angeles, they say, well, that's Killer King Hospital. It was known for people going in there for minor ailments and not coming out. And there were all types
could
of
it just be like something that happened for everybody and not just blacks?
No, it was blacks. It was just blacks.
It's a conspiracy. It's totally a conspiracy.
Selling organs, they were killing black people, selling off their body parts. There was a story in the LA Times.
They were killing black people and selling off their body parts. Really?
What? They're melanin. Of course they're melanin. Shit.
These fucking amateurs. When I steal melanin, I just steal enough that they're fine, and I can come back and get some more melanin later, like a good melanin vampire. Like these people are just they're amateurs. They're amateurs.
Is that why you steal melanin? Because it's so expensive.
I steal melanin, one, because it is expensive. My local dealer, he's jacked his prices up way too much, and two, because I need it. You know, I ain't got no melanin. I'm finished, man. Genetically inferior. I gotta like counterbalance that shit by melanin theft. Anyway,
talking about how people were so afraid to go to the King Drew Medical Center that if they got injured, they would run from the ambulance if they knew the ambulance was going to take them to the King Drew Medical Center. So that type of reputation has been going on in the black community for years about certain hospitals in the area.
They're running away.
Can you imagine?
I broke my leg, but I'm running.
Can you imagine, like, you got your leg half blown off, you got your belt wrapped around it and shit on the bloody stump. You see that fucking ambulance coming, you're like, oh, hell no! And you start hopping away and shit.
You ain't taking me there.
It's amazing that you know exactly where they're going to take you before they take you there.
Right.
But
I mean, maybe it's like printed on the ambulance or something. You're like, fuck that shit, you know?
Poor guys having
It
to
is
run
very
away from the
difficult to
ambulance.
use black people.
I know, it's kind of like, it's like you're escaping the Matrix, but instead of like squid robots, it's white people with syringes trying to steal your melanin. Yeah. That'd be terrifying.
Dude, I can't believe that nobody researched how the whole melanin thing works and why you can't extract melanin from skin.
Maybe you just don't believe hard enough, Prince.
The most you can do, and this is incredibly complicated, is get the cells that produce the melanin, and they have to be yours, because your body will reject everything else. It's really fucking complicated to get somebody else to transplant cells to you. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's really complicated, and they need to take cells from other part of your body and get them to a certain part, and like they puncture the section of the skin they are using to like stretch it to cover the place they need to fill.
Sure.
It's really complicated. You can't just grab someone's melanin with a fucking syringe and inject it. This doesn't work like that.
Yep. Got your melanin.
To experiment and find out cures because of melanin. That's why, experimentally, doctors and Europeans use white mice. They use albinoid mice because the outcome after you go into a white mouse is what's going to happen to a white person. If you use brown and black mice, the outcome is not going to be like for white people.
All right. Remote's yours. I'll be right back.
He's so gone right now.
Essentially, he was just saying that white people are rats or mice. Yeah.
Yes, and black people are born. Remember?
Oh, fuck. Oh my god.
So would he have to use dark brown mice if he wanted to know how it was gonna work?
Just, dude, do you seriously think that mice are white because
You don't understand science, that's all.
I don't understand science, bro. I don't understand science. Holy shit. This is badly researched. Like, nobody bothered to be like, okay, let's ask a fucking scientist, a biologist, someone, before we try to explain fucking medical science to people. Are you kidding me?
Jesus Christ. That's amazing. I'm blown away by that.
A black and brown mice is a...
Huh?
He did say, whoa, he really is gonna say it about the black and brown mice. I was joking, dude. I didn't mean for you to really say it. I was just joking. You don't gotta go there.
Okay, let's get the full spectrum of what he's saying here. Let's analyze.
Doctors and Europeans use white mice.
Okay.
They use albinoid mice.
Albinoid.
Because the outcome after you go into a white mouse is what's going to happen to a white person. If you use brown and black mice, the outcome is not going to be for white people. Because a black and brown mice is a melanated mouse.
What's a melanated mouse?
A melanated mouse.
No! Oh my
god. I fucking love doing these streams. What the shit? Oh my god.
No, that's why they got pink eyes.
Melanin is an alkaloid. The chemical structure of melanin is an alkaloid, and it is similar to the chemical structure of other alkaloids, which are heroin, cocaine, and marijuana. And the other...
Whoa, buddy. There are... Oh my god, there's so much wrong with that. Oh my god.
What is he talking about?
There are a bajillion chemicals that could be listed as alkaloids. You just named 3 drugs to compare them to melanin. That's like saying... oh god, I don't even know what it's a good comparison to say. Like, that's like saying
water is like this incredible chemical that is part of fucking, I don't know, lighter fluid and I don't know, all that. Yeah, I get it. I know what he's done.
Right. It's like saying sunflower seeds are food. Examples of other food are penne pasta, sushi, and General Tso's chicken. Totally the same. Like, oh my god.
Important aspect of this is because of the fact that melanin is an alkaloid, it binds to other alkaloids. So black folk who smoke crack or do cocaine, heroin, or marijuana are inclined to get higher.
What the shit are you saying?
Just wait. Just wait. He's gonna say that because you have melanin, you're more likely to get addicted to drugs. Just wait.
No.
Faster and have a more intense high because of the alkaloid in the melanin binds to the alkaloid in that drug, which.
No. No. That's not how that works. Alkaloids are not.
Have you ever gotten, a more intense high? Have you ever gotten one?
Then when I smoked pure melanin, never.
Dude, how was your first hit of melanin?
My first hit of melanin was pretty amazing. I gotta tell you, I felt like a living god. Everything I'm about to say is gonna be so fucking racist, and I'm not gonna say it. I'm good. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna skip that whole fucking thing right there. It's not gonna go well.
Consequently means that people of African ancestry are going.
That I what?
You were so African that you built a pyramid, all of a sudden. Pyramid.
Oh my god.
become addicted faster and have a more difficult time trying to kick those drugs.
It wasn't just crack cocaine that came into the Black and Latino areas. It was a way of life that came into the areas that replaced another way of life. Let me go back a little bit. Just before the crack cocaine way of life, you had the cocaine way of life. You know, not to call any names, but
not really. I mean, like the explosion of cocaine coincided with the explosion of crack. You know, like yeah, no, I don't. This is let's hear what he has to say.
The pinnacle is Studio 54, where you know this 70s New York City nightlife, where cocaine is everywhere and flagrant.
Yeah.
In rap music, in early MC and DJing, you get MCs on the mic saying cocaine, cocaine. Somebody say blow, blow. All of that kind of stuff. Early parties.
Yeah, because cocaine is awesome.
It really is.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, no. Look. Cocaine's bad. You
Terrible.
shouldn't do cocaine. You shouldn't do cocaine.
Never.
No, it's terrible.
Ever.
Guys,
Don't ever do it.
it's a family
One of the
stream.
shittiest.
It's a family stream. I didn't mean to say that. Yeah.
Only if it's super pure.
Even
I mean, it's
even
terrible.
that,
Don't do it.
It's still terrible. It's still terrible. Don't ever do cocaine.
Awful.
Don't ever do cocaine.
Before that, I'm talking just now 77, 76. Before that, go back 75, 74, 73. Heroin was the lifestyle that was pushed onto the Black and Latino community. Each one of these destructive lifestyles were introduced into the community.
Okay.
The youth in the country in the 60s.
By who?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, by who? Who introduced heroin?
Like, I would think it would just be like their own personal decision to take part in these kind of drugs.
No. Somebody's at fault, Tyler.
White.
Except them. Someone else, obviously. Probably the white man, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt and listen.
Almost brought us to the democracy we say we are. And the tyranny that rules our country by controlling the economy of this country decide to bring drugs and then use the war on drugs to create laws like the 3 strikes and you out and the Rockefeller laws that are as worse as any we saw in the Soviet Union during the Stalinist period to put the young people in prison, many of them for the rest of their lives.
Okay, so I will say, out of all the really ridiculous things that are in this documentary, the one point that I do bring up anytime somebody wants to talk about systemic racism, the one thing that I always point to as a clear example of what seems to be, whether it was intentional or not, doesn't really matter, a very specific example of racism against Black people was in how they prosecuted drug crimes, specifically in the crack era. Because you could go to jail for, I think it was like 4 to 6 times longer for a crack offense than you could for a cocaine offense. And crack was predominantly more found in poor Black and Latino ghetto neighborhoods than cocaine was. So that kind of is an example of actual systemic racism. I'll give them that. But like I don't know where they're coming from with this. Like this sounds like some weird conspiracy shit. You know.
No. Crack like cheaper. Like it's trashier.
Not. I mean, kind of, but not really. I mean,
like a residue. I don't know about drugs. Sorry, but isn't crack like a residue from cocaine, or am I getting mixed up?
Well, how you make crack is you have to rock up cocaine. You just have to you got to rock the coke up, and then you smoke it. It actually hits you harder, but it lasts a lot shorter, and it's still not cheap. Crack has never been cheap. Crack is actually a ridiculously expensive fucking drug compared to like most drugs that you could actually do. So it was still really pricey. But that's why you'd see people. That's why you'd see people like hopelessly addicted to crack, and they would do like the most crazy shit possible because they're so addicted to the intense high of crack. And that's why I think like you'd see people like debase themselves worse for crack than you would see people debase themselves for cocaine. So I think it was a cultural thing, honestly. As a indiscriminate drug abuser as I am, former drug abuser. I haven't done drugs in a really long time, but I did them all.
Lives for crimes that normally you would have walked after a year or two.
Chapter 4. Prison industrial. What is that supposed to say?
Welfare or something?
Warfare, maybe?
Like, choices they did with these fucking things are terrible. I can never read what they say.
I know. I can't, and I have it on HD right now, and it's just bad. It's bad design. I don't know. I think
maybe if it plays longer, it'll probably be clearer.
No.
Yeah, it's still not good.
I think it was prison industrial warfare, but let's see.
Okay.
The 13th Amendment reads, slavery is abolished except when you are found guilty of a crime and go to jail. So prison is the slave plantation. Look at all the things that are denied you.
At least in fucking prison, they probably, you know, pay you for doing like the manual labor.
Don't though. That's the problem. Prison will pay people like 5, 10, 12 cents an hour.
Yeah.
So it is kind of. He's got a point, you know. And people that are white are prosecuted at greater rates and have longer sentences. So in essence, kind of sort of have a point.
Probably the most SJW thing that I am like kind of in a weird way. I am somewhat of a prison abolitionist, sort of. Like I don't think we should like do away with all prisons, but like I have huge fucking problems with our prison industry. Fucking massive problems with it.
Well, I mean, privatized and shit. Like, are you serious? And then you make them make goods, and then the corporations get to sell them, and it just none of it. Just
you know what it reminds me of? Prison. Okay, here's a good metaphor for why I have a problem with privatized prisons. It's very, very simple. Take for instance social justice classes, right? You got a bunch of kids. They're all in college, and they start taking these classes. Maybe it's a gender studies course. Maybe it's a race relations course. And they got this teacher, and the teacher's telling them, like, this is how people are oppressed. And this is how people historically have been systematically oppressed. Now, that teacher has absolutely no invested value in those things changing. That teacher does not want women to be equal or blacks to be equal. That's not what that teacher wants, because if we do attain equality, that teacher is out of a fucking job.
Sure.
They are invested in the oppression, so they cannot allow for teaching that the oppression is getting better. Prison is kind of the same way, because if you have a private prison and you are finding a way to make a profit off of inmates, you don't want people to get reformed. You want more inmates, and that's the problem. That's the catch. That's the catch-22. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm very critical of privatized prisons. It's not because the idea is necessarily bad in a free market system. It's that if you have something that might be a self-serving system, it's open to abuse. That's the thing that I have a complication with. So I don't know. I might be conflicted in this area. Kind of a what?
I'm not conflicted at all. It's a racket, and it should be overhauled completely.
It should,
especially for non-violent drug offenses. Fuck you guys. Put people in jail for years.
Right? I know. Yes. Non-violent drug offenses should not go to federal prison. That's just fucking stupid. It's fucking
right.
Same thing that were denied Africans on the plantation. Slavery still is very much alive.
Slavery is very much alive, but I think we should
Today, there are more African American adults.
Wait, what were you saying, Prince?
Slavery is very much alive, but I think you should be worrying about other kinds of slavery, like human trafficking, this kind of shit. That's actual slavery.
And also, like the slavery that's happening in Muslim and African countries.
Oh, that's still very real today. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just my opinion.
No, I agree. I agree.
Under correctional control in prisoner jail on probation or parole than were enslaved in 1850, a decade before the Civil War began. Crime and crime rates did not drive mass incarceration to begin with. Incarceration rates have fluctuated over the years, gone up, gone down. Today, are actually at historical lows, but incarceration rates, especially black incarceration rates, have consistently soared regardless of whether crime is going up or going down in any given community or the nation as a whole. War on drugs, which has been a major engine of mass incarceration, has targeted poor communities of color, especially black and brown men.
Please just
Even
legalize the
studies
pot,
have consistently
please.
shown now for
Hey, just legalize the pot. That's what you got to do. Just legalize the fucking pot. That's that's a vast majority of all drug offenses is just pot. It's just weed.
Can you imagine like 25 years for a couple joints, like shit that used to happen, like what?
No, honestly, if you want my opinion on this, I think every drug should be legalized, and you should be judged based on the things you do when you wear on a certain drug. Like, honestly, everyone is free to do whatever they want with their bodies as long as they're not annoying anyone or causing any kind of disturbances or whatever. Like, you can sit on your fucking room and sniff all the fucking coke you want. Who cares?
Yeah.
You are sniffing your own. I just think it's fucking ridiculous that people are trying to control what other people do with their bodies. And this goes for whatever.
Right, they're adults and they have the responsibility to actually, do adult decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
well, and then you put them in prison, and then they get out of prison or jail. I don't know the difference because I'm coddled. But
prison, jail, what's the fucking difference?
They can't get a job. They're marked for life, so they stay in poverty, and then they're more apt to return to crime or doing the drugs in the first place. Because when you're miserable, you're gonna use things to stop being miserable. It's just kind of like. What else is life going to offer you?
There's a whole psychological effect about people who commit offenses, get punished for those offenses, and they're usually very small offenses, but they begin a cycle of behavior that ends up carrying with them for like years and years and years and years of their life, and a lot of it is because we punish like the behavior, but we don't address where it's coming from. We're just like, don't do that. Well, I mean, anybody who's ever had a fucking kid knows when you say, don't do that, that's not the most effective fucking way to like teach somebody not to do something. And it's fucking ridiculous. It's absolutely out of control.
decades that people of color are no more likely to use or sell illegal drugs than white.
Before 1964,
let me comment on this part. Like, I think the reason why it seems as though that many blacks are targeted for maybe like drug offenses, and just speaking from my personal experience, I see a lot of them just use it more in public compared to somebody who's white. And so if a person was white and does the drug, they tend to not try to do it in public compared to other people I see on the streets.
Yeah, it does. There's a whole social factor to it. Absolutely. Browncoat Boaz says legalizing pot would ease the justice system so much, but it would mean admitting the government was wrong in the first place. That's probably part of it. I would agree. That's probably one of the reasons. That's probably one of the hangups that keeps people from wanting to do it, because you can't admit fault when you're in politics.
Another thing, hasn't it occurred to the people who made this movie that maybe the reason why there's so many people having drug crime sentences is because, well, I don't know, blacks happen to be the poorer side of the population in the United States. Like most of the ghettos are, you know, full of black people. It's the same as here. Most of the ghettos here are full of indigenous people or people from like, I don't know,
it depends. It depends on the city. It depends on the city. But yeah, there's absolutely kind of like there's a culture behind it. Yeah.
Yeah, and lack of education because schools suck over there. Like there's a bunch of shit social components mixed into this. So there's maybe a reason why there's more blacks being like arrested because of these things, because they are more likely to, you know, turn drugs to compensate for other things that are happening in their daily
That sounds
life.
about right to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, so the thing is like, when you start talking about education and like how people are going to achieve, it comes down to a basic numbers game. It really does. It's a statistics game. So if we had the Reformation, and suddenly blacks are freed and they're allowed to come and be like regular sovereign citizens. There's a lot of points at that point in which they were not exactly equal. They didn't have the right to vote, etc., etc. But eventually we got to that point. But you have by ratio, and we're talking ratios. This is the main thing. You have to talk by ratios because there are a lot less black people than there are white people in the United States. Black people ended up congealing into specific neighborhoods. A lot of that was because of racialized identity, because of like racial pressures, whatever it was. And a lot of them didn't have any family wealth because they were freed slaves. These are all West Africans, not Africans in total, West Africans specifically. And so these are families that are starting out and they have no wealth. And so they start off when they're trying to build their family line and lineage with nothing. So they automatically congregate into very poor neighborhoods. So the problem, especially, and this is like one of the biggest things that bothers me, is that the way we fund schools in America is based on property taxes. So all the properties surrounding the school, they pay some of their property taxes in. Well, if you all live in a shithole, you're not going to get fucking shit for your goddamn property taxes, so the school is underfunded, and it means a perpetuation for the past, like, 100 years that the schools have been shit, the kids aren't getting taught very fucking well. Like, this is just a byproduct of a situation. It's shitty, but it just is what it is, and it's very frustrating.
And the teachers... like my kids, I pulled them out of public school. I was talking about this on Twitter earlier, but they, the school is like 3,000 students at the one school, and they were all mostly black, some Hispanic. There's like 35 white kids, and so my son got beat up and bullied and stuff. But they would come home and tell me how the teachers just like gave up. And this is the first year they'd ever spent in that kind of school. We'd always been in a better school district where there was more money coming into the school, so the school's falling apart. The teachers were letting the kids just stay on phones. They were giving the answers to tests. They just didn't give a shit anymore. So the kids misbehaved, and like it just like everyone just gave up on. And they told the kids, it's the two things on two different schools, middle school and high school. My kids told me that the teachers told them they shouldn't expect to achieve to be anything more than what they are right now.
Right.
What the shit?
Wow.
Yeah. That's pretty common.
Really bad.
That's pretty common. Yeah.
I didn't know that until we were actually in an inner city school, you know? I was really shocked.
Yeah. Dude, and it's absolutely crazy. But that's the thing that a lot of people don't pay attention to is like, you know, America's not a small country. It's huge. It's huge as fuck. And so you have these little pockets of culture all over the place, even inside individual states, and you'll have these ghettos. And the kids are still, all kids start out as good kids, but because of whatever societal factors that are involved in it, shit fucking schools, no fucking funding, You know, a lot of kids, especially in like ghetto neighborhoods, they never had a fucking chance, man. So statistically,
just pull yourself up by your bootstraps and achieve anyway. Like people are like, so what? You know, I did it. Well, no, you didn't really.
And it
you had a completely different life.
That sounds good. That sounds good. But you got to go back to the numbers game. The numbers game is really simple. It's okay, so anybody can pull themselves up by the bootstraps. Well, everybody's affected by their environment. Everybody's affected by where they're coming from and their family. So if you have a good family and your environment is pretty well, you have statistically a higher chance that, and if you're in a statistically more well-off neighborhood, you'll have a better teacher. Statistically speaking, you will be more likely to achieve higher. But if you're in a shit neighborhood, you've had to deal with the shit, absolute crap of what you've been dealt in life. Statistically speaking, it is going to be a lot harder for you as a regular human being to get where you want to be. And it's the numbers game, you know? And
not even enough money for books. They had to share books between students. There's not even enough money because there's not, you know, the property taxes.
I know. Last year we raised a bunch of fucking money for some of these inner city schools. They didn't even have money for like protective goggles for their chemistry classes. They didn't even have that. Like they couldn't experiment with chemicals to teach these kids about fucking chemistry because they didn't have the money for protective goggles. But they do now because you know. But like it's fucked up, dude. It's fucked up, and it's a slow process. But we can't just be like because black.
Well, you just can't say the white. Yeah, right. The white man did it because black people.
Yeah,
that's not. It's not black and white.
it just happened because the shit fucking happened. It sucks, but like you know, let's fix it. Fuck it.
People in prison were white people, were white guys. But the thing is, there was no need to have a strong police presence in the black community because black people were already controlled by the basic laws of the land. Black people were already controlled by Jim Crow laws, signs saying black people drink from this water fountain, black people couldn't live in this neighborhood. So black people were just controlled, period, at that time.
Sure.
Now, after the Civil Rights Bill passed in 1964, this is when the police presence became very strong in the black community because the average citizen couldn't control black people like they could before then.
When did he say?
They came up with another strategy and had law enforcement do it. So around 1964-65, black communities were flooded with law enforcement. And this is why the Black Panthers was started, because of the police brutality that had started in the black community.
Okay, somebody's mentioned this a couple of times now. They said the main reason why crack cocaine is punished so severely is because of how addictive it is. Methamphetamine has similar sentences. Yes, that's true. But there's a cultural aspect to why crack cocaine ended up in the specific kind of neighborhoods that it was, which is why I still think it is kind of systemic. There's a point, there's kind of a good argument for it, but it's still kind of racialized in a weird, like, afterthought sort of way. It's still like it's a weird thing, man. It's a weird thing. All right, sorry.
Prisoners themselves represent a small percentage of the population under correctional control. Like today, there's about 7.6 million people under correctional control, but only about 1.3 million are in prison. Of that, the rest are on probation, parole, in jail, overwhelmingly for, you know, minor non-violent offenses and drug offenses. The problem is that even if you don't get prison time, even if you're lucky enough to get just felony probation, you're saddled for the rest of your life with a felony record. And so the question isn't
that's pretty true. That's actually pretty true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In my view, just who's in prison. Question is, who is branded a criminal or felon and must live with that label for the rest of their lives?
The people said, well, if we don't
this
need
guy
black
is definitely
labor,
a felon. That hat is a crime.
Yeah, like I don't think like the way she painted it is fair because I think people who do crimes, they sometimes do it with the intent to cause harm. And so I don't think all of them who happen to go out of jail are victims, but the people who do in fact do like the drug offenses and nonviolent offenses may be victims.
They might be, yeah. No, and I think that's something that we should allow for and be ready to think about. Absolutely. You ready to take the remote real quick? I gotta pee again.
Okay.
All right, cool. Thank you, man. Grab that.
What do we do with it?
We're back.
Well, we have to set up a system in the commercial system, or at least incorporate black people into the commercial system so that they make us money without having to do the labor of kicking cotton or picking sugarcane or whatever. We already passed that. So how do we make a more sophisticated plantation where we can keep slaves? Let's criminalize pretty much every...
Oh my god. They just compare going to prison to a plantation. Fuck.
Yeah, never mind that people who go to prison have committed crimes. Never mind.
Oh fuck me. Just
Never mind. Holy shit.
Every damn thing that we do. There are over 1 million laws on the books now. Who needs
Fuck
1 million
you guys.
laws?
You gotta take some responsibility for your own fucking actions at some point. Like, dude, yeah, fucking shitty circumstances, but fucking man up and fucking say, gosh, maybe I shouldn't make that decision.
yeah, maybe we should just abolish the laws and just have complete anarchy, you know.
Victim, 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 when it's someone else's fault.
Yeah. Complete.
And I'm back. What'd I miss?
Basically, they were talking about how there's a lot of laws and like writing, and that's basically it. And they also compare prison to a plantation. Yeah.
Excellent.
Unless you want to control people's behavior.
The police presence has always been in the black community because we are prisoners of war. That's number one. The original police were created to catch slave catchers. There was no need to police a...
Prisoners of war? Ah! Oh, fuck!
Oh my god. Are you serious? Jesus fuck. He just said the original police were created as something about slaves. Like, oh my god.
White society. There was no need for that in early America. There was no need for that. Police even became wild when... police were always about guarding property.
Okay.
That's what the police are about, guarding property. That's it. Their job gets stretched out to a moral responsibility and public safety and that kind of thing later on in their development. But the original concept of a police officer is to make sure your property stays with you. They are hired by the rich, first of all.
Okay.
To protect the rich's property.
People of all races who are jobless, especially chronically jobless, are more likely to be violent than those who are not. And
why? Why?
Ghettoized communities are areas of concentrated poverty and joblessness. So it's not a surprise that there are higher rates of violent crime, and this idea that there's something especially wrong with black men that makes them more likely to be violent, or especially wrong with black culture that leads to high rates of violence is just disproved by all of the available evidence.
Well, let's not be hasty, lady. Let's just step back there and maybe
You know what? Because the idea that blacks and black men are violent is disproven. But the idea that men are violent, that isn't. Men rape. Men rape all the time. They can't stop raping.
All the time, right?
I know I can't stop. I get that one line of melanin in the morning and I just start raping. I just get fucking crazy.
I'm so sorry, Jeff. It must be so hard for you.
It's difficult.
It's so...
Goose Mother said original police were to hassle unions. I'm not sure if that's true. That might be true. Maybe. I don't know. That's kind of an interesting question. I don't know.
I just want to know how I can blame it on white people.
Because white people created HIV.
If we were to invest in education and job creation in the communities that need... at most and eradicate these high levels of joblessness, we would also see the racial disparity in violent crime disappear.
A lot of people don't know the original street gangs in America were European immigrants, and the movie Gangs of New York goes into that, how these Europeans came over and they formed the first street gangs in America.
Sure.
And the thing is, they weren't demonized.
They weren't demonized? How were they not demonized? They were they were hunted down and hassled by the cops. They were murdered in the fucking streets. How were they not demonized?
Split up. Taken out.
Why? Because Leonardo DiCaprio was in a fucking movie about them? Is that as far as you actually researched into it, Tariq? Like, fuck you, dude. Oh, God. What the fuck?
There was a wave of white crime, you know, where white immigrants coming to the United States who were jobless and poor or engaging in high rates of crime.
Yeah.
But the response wasn't, let's lock them all up and throw away the key. The response was, what can we do?
Let's murder them by the fucking crowd's guard. Oh, sorry, you were saying something else. I'm sorry.
To save our young men. And they went in and invested in education and job creation and providing social services and a safety net to ensure that these young men did not slip through the cracks, and viewed them as one of us who need to be protected and saved, whereas young black...
Okay, I will say, one of the things that probably was the saving grace of the white gangs in the northeastern seaboard was democracy. Probably democracy. And I will automatically absolutely believe this because the way that the American system worked, especially when immigrants were coming in, one of the first things that they wanted you to do when you would come in as an immigrant would be to register, so that way they could try and manipulate you into voting how they wanted you to vote. That's what it was. That's like what the whole thing fucking was. That was the inspiration behind it. Was, oh, hey, welcome to America. Have you thought about how you want to vote? Well, let me tell you about this guy over here. It's politics. It's scummy. It's disgusting.
Black men in ghettoized communities are viewed today as largely disposable.
80% of prisons are found in Republican districts because you may have a town of, let's say, 20,000 people. Let's say you have 20,000 prisoners in the prison in your community. When it's time to be taxed, when it's time to get money from the government, you have 40,000 people. And even though those other 20,000 never get money that are in prison, they're accounted for in your population.
Okay.
But the Irish don't even exist.
Extraordinary amount of money being made off of mass incarceration today. I mean, part of it is private prisons, which are making their money, you know, from caging human beings quite directly. But there's also a range of other private corporate interests that are profiting from the prison industry today. Private phone companies that charge prisoners and their families exorbitant rates.
Okay, that is actually pretty true. That's pretty true. That's real. Yeah.
But it affects everyone.
Yeah, no, it affects everybody. It doesn't matter what color you are. Like, yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Calls and remain in touch with loved ones, taser gun manufacturers, private healthcare providers that provide typically abysmal healthcare to people behind bars, you know, have secured very lucrative contracts, you know, and then, you know, there's private corporations that are now using prison labor, you know, rather than shipping jobs overseas, are actually using prison labor, paying them far less than minimum wage.
Many of these furnitures we see in all the states.
That's pretty true.
Made in China.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and prison labor is extremely cheap. It's extremely cheap. Extremely cheap. So.
Offices and stuff, they're made by brothers and sisters in prison. They try to make it seem like it's just license plate. It's a lot more than that. Then all of them are located in areas where there are farms, and almost all of them are loaned out to work these farms, where they're getting only pennies a day. Slavery.
Many of these agencies get rewarded in cash by the millions for the sheer numbers of people swept in for drug offenses, which helps to explain why so many law enforcement agencies go out looking for the so-called low-hanging fruit, stopping, frisking, searching as many people as possible in the hopes of boosting their numbers up and continuing to qualify for funding.
So I get this feeling. Like so the lady who was in just a little bit ago, I feel like she's a prison abolitionist, and she seems really smart. And every time she comes on screen, I feel like there's a disconnect between like what we've been watching and her, because like she does have really salient points, but the other people, like the dude with the weird like spirit braid, you know, and the doily on his arm and shit, you know, these are like it's not the same conversation that we're having. So it's frustrating.
Put your prison on the stock market. It means you already have a methodology to guarantee the commodity, and the commodity is the imprisoned young black man and woman.
Oh.
You're given a number, and you're warehoused in this cell, and you become a warehouse receipt. So
Yeah, but
more
those dudes
jails.
put themselves into jail. They didn't just like walk down the street minding their own business and they got tackled and thrown before a judge. I understand there's reasons for them to get thrown into jail sometimes that are not always fair, but I mean, take some fucking responsibility. I keep saying that. Dude, seriously. I'm a victim. Poor me.
I don't know, man. And there's the statistic anomalies, you know, like black men will get more prison sentencing than white men will, and that is, I mean, like a lot of people, when you say that sort of thing, they're like, well, that is fucked up. That sounds really messed up. But the truth of the matter is like, it is a statistical anomaly. It is, and it's kind of weird, and you see it, and you're like, I don't really know how to answer that. I don't know how to make that make sense, but it's still there. But then, like, if you dig further, like, you know, black men will get a little bit more prison time than white men, and then you'll have, like, women do the same thing, and it's, like, way less, too.
Like, we have it so easy when it comes to you kidding me? I could stab someone in the heart right now and get 3 months.
Yeah, like, isn't, like, some feminists trying to advocate for a separate prison for women?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, we already have sexually segregated prisons.
I mean, like some sort of like reduce the time for women or something.
Yes, well, yeah, yes. They want to make it mandatory, even though it's already a trope, even though it's something that happens already in society. They want to make it law, like actual law.
Why?
Because vagina. Because vagina. That's why. I don't know. It's weird stuff.
I'm delicate.
Are kept up because the warehouse receipts, and if you don't have anybody in jail, you're not making any money. So you need to keep the jails filled in order for those warehouse receipts to be traded on Wall Street, and the insurance companies to be making money each time.
Drug markets, much like American society generally, are fairly segregated by race. Black folks typically sell to black folks, Latinos to each other. Drug markets are even segregated by class. You know, university students sell to each other. You know, drug dealing happens in every community of all colors, but those who do time for drug crime are overwhelmingly black and brown. President Richard Nixon was the first to coin
it depends on the city that you're in. I mean, like, Eugene is not the most racially diverse of cities, and most drugs are sold from white people to white people. Like, it just happens that way. It depends on where you're at, you know. I'm sure, like, maybe if you're going to, like, Chicago or something, but, you know.
Term, a war on drugs, but it was President Ronald Reagan, really, who turned that rhetorical war into a literal one, and he declared his drug war in 1982. Actually a couple of years before crack first began to ravage inner city communities and become a media sensation. The media...
That's something I've spoken on before too, was like the Just Say No situation with like Nancy Reagan and the Reagan administration and the punishments on crack. Like, that is a real thing. That's a serious thing.
The frenzy around crack cocaine didn't just happen. It was actually part of, you know, a political campaign conducted by the Reagan administration to sensationalize crack use in inner city communities to boost public support for a drug war they had already declared and persuade Congress to devote millions more dollars to waging it. After crack became a media sensation, harsh mandatory minimum sentences started sailing through Congress. You know, harsh mandatory minimum sentences for minor drug offenses, sentences longer than murderers receive in many other Western democracies. And soon Democrats began competing with Republicans to prove they could be even tougher on them, those people, than their Republican counterparts. And so it was President Bill Clinton who actually escalated the drug war far beyond what Reagan and his Republican.
Okay, I gotta say, I really like this lady. Like, she knows exactly what the fuck she's talking about. She's pretty on point. Out of all the time we've spent, God, how many times have we done this?
It's almost like watching a new documentary right here.
None of us are laughing.
It really is. Like, there's nothing funny about it. Like, how many times have we gotten together now, Tyler, to watch these things?
About 6 times.
About 6 times. This is like the first time I've heard somebody who knows what they're fucking talking about. And like, this lady's on fucking point. She's on point. Like,
earlier she was a little crazy.
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, like, it depends on like how you frame it. It depends on like how you're coming, where you're coming from. Maybe Tariq like phrased a really wackadoo fucking question. She came out of left field like that, but she's on point. Like, she knows what she's talking about.
Compared to their crazy, she's really fucking sane.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, she is.
Predecessors even dreamed possible.
There was a representative in Missouri named Chuck Graham, and he had a proposal. He had something called the Life for Life program. And with this program, they wanted to offer prisoners on death row lighter sentences if they were to donate one of their organs or body parts.
Citation.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that one.
I mean, first it's fucking hospitals, now it's fucking jails for organs.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the chat's been saying like it's a class issue, not a race issue. I would agree, but like, you know, the thing is, at the core basic value of it, it's a class issue, and I agree with you guys. It's a class issue. Oh, and Prince just said my rabbit died. I'm sorry. Don't hate me. Here's $1.60. It's okay, Prince. We're gonna end here real soon in just a couple of minutes. But I would agree with you. Like, at the core of it, it's a class issue. But the thing is, you can't forget that there is like a racial divide in the class system. So at the basis of it, you could say it's a class issue, but you still need to at least acknowledge that like there is a racialized divide inside that class issue. But the best thing to do is to address it as a class issue, because hopefully then, if we don't focus necessarily on it being like, well, because black people just do blank, then hopefully we can fix some of the class inequality, and then it's going to be, the racial issue will be lessened, and it's not going to be a racial tension. That's my hope. That's my dream. Because then I can...
Is that what they call intersectionalizing?
Am I... Oh, fuck me dead. Did I just intersectionalize? Oh, no. Okay. Let's give this 2 more minutes. See if we can get off the prison thing. We'll call it good for the night. Yeah. What do you guys think?
That's cool. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Republican Party strategy known as the
Prince is
Southern
back.
Strategy,
What's up, Prince?
using racially coded get tough appeals on issues of crime and welfare to appeal to poor and working class whites, particularly in the South, who are anxious about or resentful of many of the gains of African Americans in the civil rights movement. And President Richard Nixon's former chief of staff, Haldeman, described the strategy this way, and I believe I'm recalling the quote correctly. He said, quote, "The whole problem is really the blacks. The key is to devise a system that recognizes this while not appearing to," end quote.
Well, that's weird. Okay, all right.
The meth epidemic has been severe, and you know, some have argued that the meth epidemic is actually far worse than what the crack epidemic was in terms of the harm.
I would agree with that. I would totally agree with that. As somebody who lives in a meth town, like meth is way worse than the crack epidemic was when I was growing up. Way worse.
Harm that it caused, but you know, there hasn't been any media frenzy associated with the meth epidemic. There has been an increase in the number of whites going to prison for drug offenses since the meth epidemic, but there hasn't been an all-out war waged against you know, people who are predominantly white, who use and sell meth. It doesn't matter.
Okay, well, so here's a good question for you guys. So, Tyler, you're about the same age as me, right?
About 24.
Oh, you're 24. Wow, you're really not anywhere near my age. Holy shit. Okay, so okay, well, I guess I'll be the old fart in this one. That's fine. I'm pretty accustomed to it. So I remember when the DARE program came out with the Reagan administration, they were trying to say, like, just say no to drugs. Just don't do it.
We had DARE officers
I remember that too.
It was
actually.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And so there was like a war, and in the Nixon, I wasn't alive during the Nixon administration, but like I remember I remember like the after effects of it very specifically. My parents talking about it, and it's true. There was like whole media attention like being showered upon. We need to stop the epidemic of crack, and there was not a big media representation about we need to stop the epidemic of meth. So my question, though, is, because of the way she's framing it, is like, there's something wrong with that we're not doing a media representation about meth being a big problem. And I would agree. I would agree because I think meth is worse than crack. I legitimately think so. So I'm on board with you. I just don't think it's a racialized thing. I just think it's a really fucked up thing. Like, I don't...
That's because you're a white man and you're racist.
Because I've seen people die from meth. Because I've actually seen somebody's dead body when it's getting picked up by the fucking by the goddamn coroner because he OD'd on meth. Like, it hits me personally. So maybe that's what it is. I don't really know, but it's fucking weird. I don't know. I can't buy into like the racialized aspect of it. Not anymore.
How severe the racial disparities are, unless you can offer proof of conscious intentional bias tantamount to an admission of racial bias by a law enforcement official. You can't even state a claim for racial bias in the criminal justice system today, which presents a bit of a challenge since most law enforcement officials, like the rest of us, know better than to state our racial biases out loud.
Okay, well then, okay, by her argument though, this is my argument. This is my argument. So we have an epidemic that's put out to the broader society, and they're like, look, in poor black communities, there is a copious amount of crack that's happening. We need to stop this. We need a war on crack cocaine. Huge media attention. Programs that are put out there. DARE, the war on drugs. It needs to stop. It needs to stop. All this attention is brought out there. From her perspective, that is saying like, well, this is negative attention put on black people. From my perspective, that is, this is attention being put onto a social issue that needs to stop. It needs to change. You need to like address this. Then you correlate that with the meth affliction, which has predominantly hit low-income whites more than anybody else. And there is no media presence. There is no massive outcry. There is no hands across America to like try and stop methamphetamine addiction. Where's your argument? If your argument is saying that there's a racial disparity, you just made the argument that there was a massive mobilized effort to try and get black people off of crack. but we don't give a shit about white people on meth? I mean, is this making sense to anybody else?
Nope.
Dude, I never even thought about that. You know that? I never even...
Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. I just don't understand. I don't get it, because like that argument doesn't make any sense to me. How can you make that call for prejudice when your very own argument self-defeats that, you know? Like, and again, like, the worst thing about this thing is when you start talking about it, racializing it is the dumbest thing you could do. Like, it shouldn't even matter what color people are that they're doing these types of things. There are racial demographics that play into it, but like, fuck, dude, what? Maybe I'm emotional a little bit because I've had a few shots of vodka, and I did have a friend. I did see my friend's dead body after he overdosed on meth. Maybe that's why it is. I don't know. Maybe so. I don't know.
It's like how I feel about heroin and morphine because I had 2 sisters-in-law overdose from it and watched it. It was bad.
Yeah,
it's like I have real bad.
It's rough. Dude, drugs are fucked up.
I just smoke weed.
Yeah. Police officer isn't gonna say.
Let's give it a few more minutes, and then we're gonna probably call it quits for the night.
People look at it as
because we're getting serious.
But it's really a human rights violation.
Like his what?
He looks very serious. His tie.
His tie is huge. Look at this fucking massive fucking yellow tie.
Oh my god!
It's huge. It's huge.
Like he's trying to play grown up.
No more serious talk about drugs. Let's just like shit on Tariq's fucking style. Like, fuck you, dude. What's with this yellow tie and this brown jacket?
I like it. He's like a little
this that you do. It's so loose. The tie is so loose.
It's a pretty loose tie, yeah.
Because it's criminal what they're doing to black people on a mass scale, criminalizing the image of black people and railroading them into a jail system really for profit. That's slavery, and that's a human rights issue, and black people need to start treating it as a human rights issue. So we shouldn't go to the courts here because the courts here are in cahoots with the private organizations that's railroading all of these black men into the prison system. So if black people are going to do anything, they need to take this fight to the world court, to the world stage.
Well, I do think mass incarceration is a human rights issue, a human rights crisis. And there have been efforts to bring these issues to the United Nations and to international courts. And I think we should continue to do so. I do think we should avail ourselves of those tribunals and make more of an effort to educate people in other countries about the realities of what is going on in the United States. So many people around the world today think that the U.S. is the land of great racial equality, especially with the election of...
Name one better.
I know. I was just like, "What the fuck, woman?" You know, like.
Yeah. Name one better.
Anyway.
Name one better.
God.
Honestly, like, fuck, dude. I mean, we don't nail it at 100. You know, we got a lot of fucking issues and shit. You know, obviously there's racial issues and shit like that. But like, we can at least like crack jokes and be friends and like, you know, tease each other about race and like find equality that way. But I mean, name something that's better, you know. Fuck you.
Barack Obama, and it's important for the other story to be told.
The King Alfred plan. Okay. I think we get to
here.
Yeah, let's stop right here. I think we're about to get to a new level. A new section of the video, so this is where we're gonna stop. That's what I was waiting for.
Write it down.
Okay, so for myself, because I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna look at this when I'm like, where do we need to start the stream next time? It is at 1 minute 51 second, or 1 hour 51 minutes and 14 seconds. This is where we started.
1 minute.
Shut up! Stop it!
You kind of deserve that, don't you?
I know, I totally did. So, 1 hour, 51 minutes, 14 seconds. It's recorded like on the video too. And this is where we're gonna cut the stream for tonight. Okay. We did make it though, guys. We made it 51 minutes through Hidden Colors Part 2. Do you guys realize we've been doing this for months? This is like our 6th month we've been trying to do these. And we've only gotten an hour and 51 minutes into Hidden Colors Part 2. There are 4 Hidden Colors.
There are 2 more!
There are 2 more. Once we finish this one, there are 2 more. We're going to be at this for an entire year.
That is insane.
Yeah. But the thing that makes me happy about this, and I actually get a little sad about it too. I was thinking about it today, and I'm like, so we do these Hidden Color streams. I love fucking Tyler. Tyler is the best. Patty's the best. Prince is the best. Skepo is the best. I fucking love all these guys. They're fucking great. What's gonna happen when we don't have any more to watch? Tariq's gonna have to step up and make some more fucking documentaries. I know, I got sad about it.
Yeah.
But let's
we're gonna have to figure out. We'll have to figure out something else to watch eventually. I mean, we have plenty more content, guys. Don't get sad. Don't get sad. We've got enough content to last us for like the next 6 to 8 months. Like, we'll be doing this for a while. But I love you guys. I love you guys. Like, I feel like, especially after like chopping up the first Hidden Colors stream, which was like 4 hours, I realized that the very first time that we all got together, I was so nervous because I was like, oh, we're going to talk about race stuff. And I just started like, I got really drunk and I started opening up and I'm like, guys, I think racism is bullshit. Blah, 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 blah. And I got wasted fucking drunk. And you were all very kind to me. You were really super sweet. I thought it was very awesome. And I immediately thought the world of all of you guys. It was amazing. So I don't know, man. It's crazy stuff. But I love Tyler Preston. I love Patty Politics. I love Prince of Dew. I love you, Skepo. You guys are fucking incredible. This has been Group Hug. This has been another Hidden Colors unadulterated live stream where we don't give a shit. We just make fun of we was KANGZ and shit. We break our racial boundaries. We fucking talk like human beings. We love each other, and we love you. Oh God, maybe should we catch up with Super Chat? Was there anything good on Super Chat?
No, not yet.
Well, then you guys
Jeff,
send some money right now.
There was a couple of them. Jeff, I have things to say. Can I get in on this? Hit me up next time, buddy. We'll try and do that. JT Yearsley, this is how crazies rally people to their cause, weaving facts into bullshit. Apocal7964, prison pay is bad. Place I was at, I knew the guy who had the highest in the whole prison. He made $1.20. He had been there 15 years. That's bullshit. That's fucked up, dude. Absolutely.
That's terrible.
It's insane. That's absolutely insane. But we love you guys. We have been your shitlord dream team. We love entertaining. We love spending this time watching this god awful fucking documentary with you. We will see you guys next time. Good night, everybody.
Yeah. See you.